swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. The Legion of Doom.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Jake here from the Brave and the Boys. Here, let me get my other AirPod in. Actually, no, I'll keep it out. Let's see, who do we got so far? We have Mr. Awesome. Okay, newish viewer here. What's the origin story of your channel name? So we really liked the concept of having something DC related in our name. And DC had that comic book series back in the day, The Brave and the Bold, of kind of, where Batman would team up with other people. So we like the idea of making a kind of a play off that. Since there was two of us, we were both DC fans, we were both boys, and it's kind of what we came up with. And once you kind of make logos and merch, it's a little hard to change your name, but I do like it. Omar once asked us on our 100th episode live stream if we could change our name, would we? Because he used to be the Nearmint Collective before he was the Nearmint Condition. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better name. I don't know, maybe something with absolute in the name, since I love absolutes, but I think the Brave and the Boys was a good way to show off that there was, more than one of us. We will have Bunk with us tonight. He's currently tucking the kiddos in. Everything is well. What up, James? James made a great thumbnail for us to use next time we do a live stream with Jordan here. I'll pull it up. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of his Photoshop powers. So share screen. Window. Look at this beauty right here. Loved it. I love how serious Bunk looks in the middle. Just fantastic. Amazing work. We got James celebrating. We got my friend New Spooey. I come home and find this stream about to start. It's nice to do a stream a little bit earlier. I feel like, dude, sometimes we do streams so late. I mean, it's late for us, yet alone 3 hours later for the Eastern time. But yeah, this is exciting. See anything new? I recently got into the new Disney card game called Lorcana. So I bought a couple decks, some booster packs and things like that. And that was a few weeks ago before it dropped officially. And then it dropped officially on Friday. And now it's like sold out everywhere. An $8 booster pack is like $25. What's up, big guy? Valzad, what's up? And yes, I did. I got it yesterday. I was going to shoot you a text, but honestly, I'm so bad at remembering things. I took it from the front of my house and immediately put it in my car because I'm giving it to a coworker. But I went to we had this, it's like a mini Comic-Con that happens 3 times a week. So think like Comic-Con meets a swap meet, like about 20 minutes from my house, called Frankensons. And they got everything from like Funko Pops, comic books, and things like that. And I went with a coworker, and he wanted to buy his 2 sons a comic. So one of his sons loved The Flash, so we found a Flash comic. And his other son wanted a horror comic. So I suggested Something Is Killing the Children. And he was going to buy the first trade paperback, which was like kind of overpriced there. And I was talking about how the deluxe might be a better way to go. And I remember Ryan saying he had an extra copy. So he hooked me up on Something Is Killing the Children. I'm very happy that it'll be gifted to someone's 13-year-old son to help grow a love of comics. Speaking of comics, what is up Beyond Comics? Dude, I love that. Are you excited for the Mr. Miracle Absolute announcement? Because I am. We are talking about comics, but no one has the refined taste that Cycle Cleveland does. So I don't think I have the taste that he does for his indie comics. But if you ever want to tell me of an indie comic I should read that's somewhat available for me to be able to purchase, because I feel like you'll say some like amazing indie book, but it's like, I don't know, like $300 for a single issue or something on eBay. My relatives did a Labor Day cookout today, since it'll be in the mid-90s tomorrow. Smart. So I'm now just returning home 7.5 hours later. Ooh, what kind of food did you eat? That is always fun, but I don't know what it is. I love my family, but after like an extended period of time, I'm just so exhausted. So 7.5 hours is hey, I have read Bang by Josh Greathouse. In fact, our last episode was an impromptu live stream with Josh. I told him, I was like, dude, we can talk Bang tonight, or if you want to plan one out in a couple weeks, like I'll reread Bang, I'll have good questions, written out, I'll have a thumbnail. But he wanted to just do it. It was a lot of fun. We connected his drawing tablet up to the screen. That's every issue of the series and the tie-ins. Dude, he's gonna love it, and a way better price than just buying the single trade by itself. My Batman Year One Absolute arrived a few days ago. Okay, so I heard they're making like a new edition of Batman Year One. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. New edition. It's like, I want to say like a gallery or an artist, or let me see if I can pull it up. Is this it? Okay. So it looks like it's getting an IDW artist edition. So let's see. Oh, that looks absolutely gorgeous. This book is a new initiative with DC and near and dear to my heart. Many of the so we're gonna do different volumes, but that Year One looks fantastic. I don't know, I didn't realize about. I'd never seen an IDW like DC edition before until Jordan brought over the Watchmen artist edition. So I have that sitting over there for a video that we're gonna film tomorrow. But the IDW books are gorgeous. I ate hot dogs, salad, mac salad, some roasted chicken and veggies. Phenomenal. If you haven't read I don't even know if these books are real. He is tucking the kiddos in, and I told him not to skimp on the bedtime story. So once that's done, we'll get some Bunk After Dark, which I'm excited about. Let me see if I can pull it up. It hasn't been officially solicited yet, but Tom King announced in an interview recently that he just they're collecting the extras for the Absolute edition of Mr. Miracle. So super early announcement. Hasn't even been officially solicited yet. They're just collecting scripts and photo, things like that. That would be extras. It will be like the Watchmen Artifact edition. I was gonna grab it, but we'll save that for the video. It's yours to show off. Oh, I can't tell. Do you really hate Tom King, or are you just messing with me? It's okay. I didn't like everything that he's done, but he was a really cool person to meet in person. I totally fangirled. I'm very glad my fiance filmed it. I don't like his work. Okay, that's fair. What is your favorite and least favorite thing that he's written? Like, has there been one thing that's like the lesser of the poisons, or anything that you actually did enjoy? And what do you think is his most egregious? That'd be my question. Jordan, do you think that the artist edition of Year One will be the same dimensions? Because if so, you should get it. You should be the guy that's just collects artifact editions. You mean like stoic and somber and looking out of like a window while there's rain outside? I did order the... Okay. I get that there's a lot to dislike about his Batman run, but the issue that's very near and dear to my heart is the two-parter where they have like an engagement party with Lois and Superman, and they go to a carnival and they have to like switch outfits, and like Batman's just going on and on about how he can hit a pitch off Superman like that. I don't know what it is, but like, I don't need every story to be some like universe shattering crisis. I like simple slice of life things. A year ago. See, you're joining the right side. I think you guys might have saw my deluxe edition video. I just recently read the first issue of Promethea, and now I'm like, do I just buy volume 3 and try to find the other 2 volumes? But I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to save for the reception and the wedding. Bunk, this stream looks so fun. Can't wait for Bunk to join. I liked it. but I'm biased because that was the first Batman run that I read in single issues. So to me, I can admit how frustrating it was for like when I would like buy an issue. At the time I didn't have a lot of money, so it was one of the few series I was collecting, and I would sit down and read, and then it's just like a dream arc that fair. Let me send that to you right now. You know, there we go. Sent to your Discord. Did you like Mr. Miracle or Supergirl or Up in the Sky? Okay, if you haven't read Up in the Sky, that's my one recommendation because I think he really gets Superman, and I love Up in the Sky. Did I get them anything? I gave them space. So today wasn't a day where I texted Jess and asked him questions about what I should buy or not buy. So I gave him space today, but maybe I do need to get them a better gift. I've read every Batman detective book since Nightfall, and I think only Lara. Okay, Batman's run was bad. Okay, that's good. You got the link now, man. Where you at? Let's see. Is that all the chat so far? Cool story. Is that like the sarcastic cool story, or was it like? Oh, on the name. Okay. I feel like I don't know what it is. Every time someone says cool story, I always think like cool story, bro. Like the sarcasticness. Oh, on the name. Okay. What up?
What's up, man?
Oh, that breaks my heart, but I support it. I think it's a very good non-continuity Superman story that I thought was just like good fun. Was it like say like Superman for all seasons? Maybe not, but I liked it.
I love a good story that is able to kind of capture individual elements of the character. And I think Up in the Sky was beautiful for that. Like each of those individual stories kind of goes through and it's like, here is one facet of why Superman is cool. Instead of just telling you why it's cool, I'm going to give you a short story that's going to show it in action. And I really appreciate it. And I think that did it really well. So I loved Up in the Sky. I thought it was beautiful.
I liked in the end when he's flying back with Alice and she's just asking, she's the audience asking every what if question that we've ever wondered about Superman. And I loved his answers. Like he's like, who would win in a fight between you and Batman? And Superman goes,
that is my
Batman.
favorite.
And she's like, why? And he's like, Batman's had a hard life. Winning would mean a lot to him. She's like, you don't like winning? And he's like, I don't need to win. Like
well, just his explanation, it would mean more to him. It just
it would mean more to him.
You're like, yeah, no, fair. No, that makes sense.
I like your nickname. I think you should change your name to Hunkmaster.
Okay, so I
don't know if it's Hunkmaster V because he wasn't wearing a V-neck.
No, and it was supposed to be a V-neck today, but I realized right before getting ready for this, I didn't have any clean V-necks. So I figured that a tank top like this was the closest I had to it. So
I like it.
I'll pull it down and we'll.
I made the thumbnail. It was like, do I choose a better quality photo that I have of you, where like the top of your head's a little cut off? I have the one of you with the Power Ranger jacket holding a comic book, and then I was like, you know what? It's lower quality, but I got to do the bunk showing some skin for the thumbnail.
I mean, I'm not hard to find. You can always just ask me for a picture showing more skin. Like I'm not skittish about it.
Okay, so speaking of Superman for all seasons, I have some books to show off, namely 2 copies of it. So one will go to Jordan. OPB messed up and sent me an extra copy for free, and I was like, hey, do you want me to pay to ship it back? Like, I'm happy to do that. You guys have clearly taken care of me. And he was like, nah, man, give it to Jordan. So there we go.
I'm so jealous about that. I love Up in the Sky. I had the deluxe and I was like, oh, I'm cool just sticking with that. It's beautiful art, but the deluxe is a beautiful presentation. I gave it to someone that worked at my company to read. Like we were friends, but he just didn't show up again to work after that. And they're like, yeah, he doesn't work here anymore. And like we hadn't exchanged numbers. And and so I was like, oh cool, I have no idea how to get a hold of this guy. And he had like a really common name. So when I was just searching like his name, Cleveland, being like, I don't know, maybe I can find, it's like, do you mean this guy that died in 1955? Do you want his obituary? I was like, no.
Maybe they buried him with the book, so you gotta go grave robbery for your Superman book.
If they buried him with For All Seasons, I think that would be pretty fitting. But yeah, so no, I have no copy of For All Seasons, and I'm very seriously considering the Absolute.
It is really good. I filmed the intro and outro, and I'm gonna try to film the rest of it tomorrow because I don't think anyone has actually posted an overview of it yet. They sent it to me a little bit early. So if I can get it finished tomorrow and edited really fast, it'll be cool to be one of the first ones. But it's like canvas. It's so cool. Like you got that gorgeous Superman on the back. And it is just like so much of it is extras. So let me see when the story ends. So this is how much of it is new extras. So it looks gorgeous. I'm very happy with it. My other one to show off, speaking of all these V's, which even though this is unopened, I have actually started. I'm about halfway done with it, but I'm reading for the first time V for Vendetta.
Nice.
Or is it 5 for Vendetta?
Nope, it's V.
I'm just kidding. I gotta say that when I opened up V for Vendetta digitally, I was just like, oh God, it's an older comic. There's so many words. And Jake, send me the link to what? Oh, you want to come into the stream? You should have told me. I would have used the other thumbnail.
He didn't want to come until he heard I'm literally at work.
Oh, hold on. Did we miss something? Okay, so I thought David was going to send me Pokemon cards. I've been read Man and Superman by Marv Wolfman. Have you read that?
I have not. I don't know of that one.
No one ever gives Josh free books. He never proved to me that I was going to have a character arc in Bang. So,
and just by you mentioning that, he accused you of trying to take advantage of free work and art,
even though it was payment.
I know that show took some weird turns.
Is going to join from Bunk's basement. Oh wait, Jordan, are you at work or do you want the link? Oh, I'll just pop in. I'm working. Okay, I'll send it on the Discord, I guess. Here we go.
That would actually be funny if, like, we see, like, halfway through the stream, my Daniel Warren Johnson print, which is right in front of a window, just, like, slowly moves over, and then there's just a face that's there the whole time, and that's Cycle.
He's been here all along.
It was Cycle all along.
Okay. Jake sent me the link. We just did. Tyler showed me since his company designed it. It's amazing. That's awesome. What was his name, Bunk? I think they made a movie about someone who tried to track down someone by looking up names in a phone book. I think it was called The Terminator.
It was let's just go with John Smith. It was John Smith. So yeah, if you can look him up in the phone book, and maybe don't go up to a random John Smith you find and say, your clothes, give them to me. It doesn't work as well now.
I'm doing it, dude. I will send you the invite link right now if you want to just pop in and show your heel.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man?
You're just gonna keep the phone on while you're installing in the car?
I'm about to be off right now.
That's fun. Heck yeah, man.
I'm here.
What'd you just install? Give me some specs.
I installed a shitty radio into an 05 Camry with a backup camera.
I mean, it makes sense you wouldn't want to invest in a high-end system in an 05 Camry, so I get that.
But a backup camera is nice no matter how old your car is.
Jake's 100% correct.
Let's see. Great House. Do you have Sean Gordon Murphy's plot holes? Did you see it, or do you want me to show you the extras again? What does
Show
V stand
him
for? I think it stands for 5 neck, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Sweet 5 neck.
Ooh.
Think of how pissed Jess would be if you did a face reveal. Okay, here's my question. When is Cycle Cleveland going to join the Brave and the Boys Discord? Because he didn't even get the idea for an OmniDog Discord until I announced the Brave and the Boys Discord. And our Discords are like bitter rivals, you know?
Are they?
To me, it is.
I
just
hear
go
it's because he hates the Brave and the Boys.
I go onto the OmniDog Discord and see how many more members he has. Omar streamed from work during his show. Is the Doctor Who
right now?
Is the Doctor Who watch along happening?
Can we do a Doctor Who watch along? I love Doctor Who.
Okay,
who's your favorite Doctor?
David Tennant.
Yeah, David Tennant's up there. I think I like Christopher Eccleston as my favorite though. He was just the one I started on.
I've seen like 2 episodes of Matt Smith, and they were pretty good. So yeah, I guess by default I'd go with that.
Matt Smith, the Doctor. Yeah.
I've seen 2 episodes. I've seen the one where they're like trapped in the future of like endless traffic.
Oh.
And then I saw one where they take Vincent Van Gogh to like an art museum to show him how impactful his work is later on. And it's like always played on TikTok with like emotional music.
So you saw one with David Tennant and one with Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're both good. I like the cheesy nature of Christopher Eccleston's though.
You're going to be on OmniDog show? No. Be on the Brave and the Boys. Make OmniDog work for it. Do you remember the 80s miniseries V starring Mark Singer, the Beastmaster? What about V-Neck, the Bunkmaster?
Again, I can't take credit for it. I wasn't rocking a V on the last show, and now I just have a tank top, which occasionally I turn into a V-neck, but only stays for a second or so. Same. I'm not a true V'er.
He lost his V.
I never
guess
had
I misunderstood. He meant he'd just get back to me for further details. Not Cycle. If you want to do it tonight, we'll send you the link. What's a better anniversary gift to Jess than live showing on us?
True.
V-neck for Vendetta. Amazing. Between Bunk's guns and Cycle's bike shorts, you'd get demonetized. Or we'd get even more we get double monetized.
You'd lose all your current subscribers, but you would double it in new subscribers, and they would be a very particular niche audience. Or
What's
is it niche?
No, I don't know.
I understand how this game works. I got hyped, although I've never watched anything through Discord. A roguish type. Are you in the Brave and the Boys Discord? There we go. James posted it. And we are going to not show off the OmniDogs Vault Discord. Because okay, you know what? Sassy. I invented copying Omar and making a free one. My Discord doesn't even know yours exists. Wow. Is it your Discord or is it OmniDog's Discord? Because I think you're driving drunk with power. Okay, you two are missing a lot. Okay, are we behind the chat? Doctor Who is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't think he's talking about the chat. I think he's saying you're missing by not watching Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Oh.
Me and Josh have great taste, by the way. Josh and I have great taste.
Honestly, they started talking about anime, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed and let them have fun.
Anime and manga. It was fun. It was a good conversation that you missed out on.
How do you know I didn't rewatch it?
Ooh, you're right. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to pop off right now because I need to go do my paperwork for today.
Okay.
Go get that paperwork. Get that paper.
Send me the link, brother. James, do we have that link or here? I'll send it right now.
I mean, it was James just sent it like a second ago. Where was it? Back at... I know we posted the link somewhere on there.
Invite people. Copy. And there you go.
There it is.
Don't click the link. Vincent Van Gogh's knockoff paintings were done by Vincent Van. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Just finished reading all the criminal books.
Oh, Criminal's so good. I Have you read Criminal yet, Jake?
I used to listen to the Word Balloon podcast a lot, and Ed Brubaker would be on there, and he got me really hyped, and I think I bought it, or I bought one of their, like, whatever their new one was, and I have not read it. Yeah, I think it might have been Reckless.
I have an original page from Criminal, but I can't show you because that would be a spoiler.
I got it. Thank you guys. Heck yeah. That is not the link. Why can't we work together, Cycle? Why does it have to be a competition?
Cycle thinks there can only be one, and it can only be him. Not even Omnidog. It can only be Cycle.
I know. When is it going to break apart from the Omnidog Discord and just be the Cycle Cleveland Discord?
Oh, it already is. I mean, he's just using Jess's name as like the Pied Piper to bring everybody in. Yeah. It's like, come, children, come to the Omnidog Discord. He doesn't know what a Discord is, but sure, it's his. It's his. And you get there and you're like, you're mine now.
It's funny because I saw them make like such a big deal because Jess announced he'd be on the Discord. And I think he went on for like 2 minutes and like maybe sent a chat and then left.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But me, I'm a level 10, which is the highest level in the Brave and the Boys. See, one area where our Discord is different is our Discord is a role-playing game with different tier levels. And you can level up. Bunk, what level are you?
I think I'm level 8.
Okay, that's up there. You know, there are a couple level 9s.
I stopped getting rolls a while ago, so yeah, I think I wield the Infinity Gauntlet, so I mean that's pretty sweet. I don't think there's much further to go once you have that gauntlet.
I didn't realize that. Like, I thought it would take longer to level up. I didn't realize there were like level sliders or anything like that. But you know, we might do a watch along. And not just tease me with empty promises like some other Discords. Just let me know what you'd like to watch. Yeah, there are different levels. People celebrate when you level up. Aren't you? I thought Josh was level 9.
I don't know, man.
Bunk just advanced to level 8, and Great House at level 8. James is our only level 9. I love that the co-host, though, Jordan, I think he's level 2 or level 3.
I mean, again, fair. Like that makes sense.
Did you ever wander into random battles with gelatinous cubes? That should be level 1. Level 1 should be a gelatinous cube.
I feel like that's a pickup line. Hey, cutie, you ever wander into random battles with gelatinous cubes on the Discord? Huh?
Ooh, level 1. He just realized there's a ranking system. I like that it gives you, like, it spaces out the experience points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't just spam. It's like you can only be awarded XP like once per minute, and it's a random value, and then it goes, "What's up, Torsten?
What up?" That's a great picture for him. Like, is that a photo that's made to look like a drawing, or is that a drawing? Or
I believe that is actually a photo of him. He sent the file for me a while ago when we when I opened up a book that he sent me, and I'm pretty sure it's just a black and white photo that there's like a slate filter over. He's just that handsome that that even a photo of him looks like a painting.
Actually, I'm the Bill Finger and Jordan is the Bob Kane. I'm the Steve Wozniak and he's the Steve Jobs. Or is it the other way around?
I got news for you, buddy. You're Stan Lee. I mean, you're the one who, dude, you are the one who's out there, who's hustling, who's putting the name out. You're the one who's like doing all that. Jordan's the one who's like, yeah, I just want to keep the original spirit alive. I just like having fun, making videos like we used to in the old days. And you're like, but how do we make more and make them bigger? How do we get the kids to watch on the TikTok? He's like, that's cool, man. I don't really need that. But if you want to do it, I support your vision. Yes, we're going to go famous. I mean,
Jordan's like, I just want to make art. And I'm like, I want to make profit.
Yeah. Yeah. The only art that matters is how much art you have in your wallet.
My gripe is we talked about doing the Wizard stream on the Brave and the Boys Discord, and then he wound up doing it on the Near Mint Discord after it was already planned. So I feel like I got shanghaied a little bit. If that's a phrase you can still say.
I mean, you could always.
What up, man? I think it was announced on our Discord. I always feel weird marketing myself on the Near Mint Discord because I don't want to feel like I'm just using it
James
for.
put it out, so I don't know what Sato is complaining about. It's been up there. I mean, someone just doesn't, either that or just he doesn't have the subscribe and hit the bell. So that's on him.
Oh, you got to hit that bell, man. You got to get notifications.
You got to hit that ting.
Ding. Don't call people Bob Kane. That's too far. I love the story in I don't remember if it was in because Comic Tropes has an excellent Bob Kane Bill Finger episode, and there's also the Hulu documentary. I don't remember what it was, but I remember one time when they tried to get Bob Kane just to draw one single page, and he was like, it took like one single panel, and for like 2 hours he kept crumpling up pages and throwing it away, and then finally he turned it in, and they found out he paid a junior like artist to do it instead. He couldn't even do the one panel. How many hosts start their streams with "Hello, true believers," and end their streams with "Excelsior"?
I don't know. How many do?
Not enough. He could pull off the crew cut. He's just got to smoke a lot on that gravelly voice. Announced on both. More people said NMC. You know what? That should be on my tombstone. More people like NMC. Yes, we didn't want him to
in a lot of things.
My favorite though was one of our viewers that found us through our interview with Jim Mint. Discovered Omar on the Bachelor Party live stream. He was like, "Wow, that one guy has a lot of subscribers."
It's true. It was really nice of you guys to just give a shout out to a small indie channel like NMC.
We got to give a shout out to Spooey, who just leveled up to level 2.
Hey, Spooey.
What's that box there?
Oh, you mean this whole thing? This box right here? Well,
ooh, you were an IST box.
It's from a site online. Could be from a number of different places, but I figured you opened your haul earlier, showing the absolute Superman for all seasons. So I'd figure do a little bit of live unboxing here while I'm cutting this guy open.
Layout so you can show off the goods.
Oh yeah, these goods right here. After I miss a week of the gym, do a little ripping and tearing. It always feels fun.
I wish I had like sensual music I could show off. When
In a bleak and dismal swamp hidden beneath
there we
its
go.
murky waters
Oh.
lies the headquarters of the most sinister.
Name.
productive intros.
That reminds me of in The Office when Michael or when Dwight makes the intro CD and has the whole sensual introduction. Hello, you are a very lucky woman if you're listening to this. You're about to be in Michael Scott's bedroom. So there's going to be a slight theme in this box, and that theme is Rick Remender books. So I have had Seven to Eternity Volume 1 through 3 for a while. Finally decided to pick up Volume 4, and
looks like a fun cast of characters.
Yeah, it's Remender writing fantasy with Jerome Opeña, and I gotta say the trade itself actually feels really nice. I know that everybody was like super hot on the hardcover and it went out of print, but honestly, these trades feel really nice, man. Oh,
shout out to that 21 watching, but only 4 likes.
Spooey is also absolutely correct. Aquatic Ambience, that's pretty sweet. And then in number 2, what is it? Bramble Scramble was the big one there. So we got that.
Oh, that's a gorgeous looking book.
I know this is volume 4 of Deadly Class. This is the DCBS exclusive cover. I really
So you did get it from IST. That proves it.
I mean, I acquired a DCBS exclusive cover in one way or the other. I will not say how I did. Deadly Class Volume 3, which completes the series. I had 1 and 2 already, and then managed to grab this. This is, by the way, a damaged copy.
Oh, heck yeah.
For the life of me, I have no idea what's damaged about this.
Maybe it was emotional damage.
I mean, the series has a lot of emotional damage, so that makes a lot of sense. I guess, as I knock my microphone, I guess there's a tiny little bit, like, ding right there. And then...
This is a straight-up haul, man. I love it.
The last thing I have, and actually probably what I'm most excited about, Tradmore's Doctor Strange Autumn Sunrise.
Why does he look so hot?
Because Tradmore is writing. He looks like he is on an acid trip, and I mean, he's got them eyes. He's got that sassy hand on the hip. I mean, just...
Dude, he's serving up a lot of looks. That's like... I don't know what it is, dude, but he looks... Yeah, that's hot Doctor Strange right there.
Also, these are a library edition, and you can see that Doctor Strange is still bigger.
Oh,
so this is the gallery edition. So
I've never bought a gallery edition.
They're really nice, honestly. It's because, like, you ever buy at this point you can go back to the side screen because I want to.
Oh,
so like
I clicked the wrong button.
So like your death metal that you have right there, or absolute flashpoint, like, you know how those are tiny little absolutes?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's cool that I have this size, but like, does it need for that amount of content? It's almost feels like a waste. Like,
I think this is the one that's the most egregious. Will probably be 3 Jokers with just 3 issues.
Oh, I mean, Absolute Killing Joke is like even worse than that.
Oh yeah, at least you get 2 copies.
Yeah, because it's exact, like, they had to double stack the same story, twice over in order to justify that. But
I think we skipped the skinniest.
Yeah. So again, like, for something like that where they want to give you that story in that absolute size, but they need to like do everything they can to justify making it bigger. That's what gallery editions are perfect for, because it's.
I heard, though, that some of them don't go all the way to the end, right? Like, sometimes they have, like, depending on the comic, like, it's not all the way to the end of the trim. Like, I heard some people complaining about that online, but I didn't have anything to compare it to.
I mean, it depends on the stories. Like, there's a lot of comics that do stuff like that. Like, a lot of the Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips OHCs, because they aren't drawn that way, and I guess I'll show that off here in just a second. They're not portrayed that way, but... Like, this is
okay.
Like,
so it does have like that white border. It's not okay. Yeah, but that's how the page was drawn, right?
It's also like this page right here. This is a splash, and you can see that one is all.
I didn't know if that was a cover.
I mean, is that a cover? I mean, you can see right here on the next one the back.
Yeah. No, that looks nice. I love this comment. I quit watching Jim Min. I feel like I'm betraying Omar when I do.
I think Omar doesn't care, honestly. Like, Omar is not one for like the petty games. He's not there to play like the YouTube's politics game, which I appreciate. Like, my favorite Omar saying outside of "I'm surrounded by naked dudes all the
time," all the time,
from your bachelor party was when you're like, "So Jess calls you very fine condition. Do you have a fun name for him?" And just without missing a beat, he's like, "No, I'm not a child." And again, I mean, like, there's something to that, but also, like, I think for him, he's just like, I don't want to play these games, man. I'm a dude that talks about comic books on the internet. I'm not trying to get into a pissing match about who talks about better comics or who does it, whatever.
I am the opposite, though. So every time I see a near mint condition video get more views than one of my videos, or a gym mint statue review get more views than me, I'm just petty and ruins my. I'm just kidding. I don't have any delusions of grandeur. Speaking of this, I do have that coming in. So I asked Organic Price Books, I said, can you guys set up a registry for me so I could like put books on there and then people could gift it to me? And they said, no, that's too much work, but we'll send you some wedding books and including some spicy ones for the honeymoon. So that'll be a fun video to do. Gwyneth Paltrow's head mint in box. Blankets 20th edition anniversary edition.
I'm passing on that one. Especially after Blankets is one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely adore that book. It's what's up, Kix? But
oh my god, we're so behind in the chat. Let's work our way back a little bit. Yeah, I hate when Jim Mint makes videos that get a lot of views. But at the end of the day, he has I'm the kind of person that believes that there is enough views to go around. And I think if someone else's video does well, if in the recommendations, it could lead to one of my videos. But I do feel like I've seen him do like his Killing Joke video, for instance. He flipped through the entire book and just was like, wow, so it looks like they kill one of the 3 Jokers. Oh, wow, it looks like they kidnapped Red Hood. And I'm like, he just like, if you were watching that to decide if you should buy it, there'd be no point after that because he literally flipped through every page.
I think Kix is just making a joke that's Jim Mint. He's like,
oh yeah, it's different, yeah.
But yeah, no. To Josh's point, we were talking a lot about like what the difference is because they just came out with the 20th anniversary edition, and it's like basically the exact same book. They just changed the cover and like doubled the price. So I'm crazy about Blankets. I'm not that crazy.
If you go back to our second interview with Omar, he does reference why there aren't more videos together. Let's see. Omar only cares about what people watch on Omnidog's Vault channel. I thought it was Very Fine Conditions channel. The gallery editions Marvel puts out don't go to the edges of the page because it would cut off the top and bottom if it did. If you stretch the art out, proportions get messed up.
Yeah, so I think for something like this, I think False Sunrise was basically drawn with the intention that it was going to be in this format. But for everything else, because it's not just sort of your traditional dimensions, they're, like everybody's saying, you're not going to do just like like just pull it that way. So you're distorting everything.
Everyone who reads that Doctor Strange book says they don't know what's happening, but they like the story.
I mean, I'm just here to take an acid trip with Tradmore art. Like, if he wants to tell me a Doctor Strange story along the way, that's fine, but that's not why I'm reading it. I'm just like, show me how colors taste, Tradmore.
I do have a funny story with that. I had some friends that took some magic mushrooms one night at our house, and like they like wanted something fun to do, but they thought the TV was overstimulating. So I took them into my room and I gave them Absolute Sandman Overture.
That'll do it.
And they had a good time.
I can see
I
that.
realized I tried to force a tie and switch the winner after the fact. It worked, but James called foul. I got the Amazing Fantasy and Demon Days. What's the Treasury edition different from a gallery edition?
I don't know. Let me. I think I have a Treasury edition over here. Let me grab it real quick.
Omar sponsored by Marvel. He's won. But we're sponsored by Organic Price Books. Buying 1 or 2 books, save $2 on Organic Price Books with code Braveboys. Or buying 3 or more books, save 5% with code Braveboyssit. So we're all winners here. I don't know who Jim is. We're talking about Jim.
So I don't know if this is the gallery edition or if this is the Treasury edition. This was a throw-in in a OPB box, and it's because of the dimensions. I've thought about selling it, and it just like it's so expensive for what I would charge for it. I can't justify it. But I'm starting to think that these are the exact same thing. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I always thought that like gallery
the
was
Treasury
hardcover
edition was the friendship we made along the way.
That has to be it.
He's alluded to a feud without mentioning it because he doesn't want to give him any attention. Bunk passing on blankets. At least you're not an hour in the chat behind like Omnidog.
Not yet.
Not yet. You guys
The
better start
night
chatting
is
more.
still young.
There's a feud, and it's not me versus Great House.
I'm pretty sure like Great House has a feud with everyone going on at this point. That dude doesn't know how not to start a feud.
I heard though that after I left, because like I wasn't planning a serious like interview with Great House because I had no time to prep, so I was just having fun and goofing around and stuff. But I heard after I left, like Jordan and him had like an insightful conversation, and I was like, "Damn, everyone's gonna realize I'm all show and Jordan's all substance."
I watched the replay on that. I was listening to it in the background while in the gym, and I got through just about after the fun story of the filming the video and whose fault was it.
So you have, now that you've had time to think about it, do you have an opinion on whose fault it was? Because my fiance said it was two people pleasers, but I'm slightly less of a people pleaser. She said that was the problem.
So but... I think hearing two people describe it, you're never going to get a solution there because everyone's the hero of their own story. So if I listen to you, it's like, well, Jordan was completely just glomming on. You did all the work. How dare he go ahead and do that? And if you listen to Jordan's, it's like, oh, well, he was just a friend trying to like shoot a video together, just like you guys used to do in the old days. And he didn't have a plan because that information was just brought to him then. But you were just a bunch of scrappy young bucks just going at it together. And he just wanted to rekindle that energy.
I think if someone clicked in and said me and Jordan were two strapping young bucks going at it with each other, they're going to get the wrong impression.
I mean, it was right at the end of that you did yell at him for queer baiting you. So, I mean, just right after that makes sense.
That being said, there are plenty of actually offensive comic and or pop culture channels out there. Bunk, have you ever tried to get on Felix Drop?
Yeah, I've got a number of Felix pieces.
Roguish Type says treasuries are soft covers, galleries are hard covers.
Yeah, there you go. According to BJ Kicks, they're actually soft banks. So he corrected it later, but I'm going to jump on that and say that they're soft banks.
You heard it here first. They're soft banks.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a really good comic that I just recently bought called 4 Kids Walk into a Soft Bank?
No, I was gonna make the joke. No, that was a hard bank, but yeah, if you read it, no, it's definitely a soft bank. Yeah. So Cycle was asking. So these are two Felix pieces. So these are two Stuart Eminem. I say from trying to be around there. This one right here being one of my absolute favorites. This is Stuart Eminem from Superman's Secret Identity, and I was super excited to get this one. It's a picture of Clark and his family all celebrating Christmas together, including his daughter, whose name is Jane. My daughter's name is Jane. And so, like, that was a really special moment when I read it. And when, like, that page came up and it was just, like, this family moment around a Christmas tree. When that drop happened, I was, like, all about that. So, yeah, I've picked up a few Felix drops. Anytime he puts up Daniel Warren Johnson stuff, I try and get in, and I'm always like a fraction of a second too late, which means that thousands of people have already submitted it.
Damn, dude, I can't even imagine like how stressful it would be to be in that world, dude.
I mean, it's like any of the the hobbies where there's.
Like, yeah, me trying to get Lorcana cards all weekend, and they're all being sold out Friday morning instantly.
Speaking of that, I went 3-1 at my pre-release on Saturday night, so holla at your boy. Yeah.
Heck yeah. I have a little binder to show off, too. So these are my original art pieces. I'm just kidding. I don't have original art pieces. But I have a binder full of Lorcana cards.
These are the ones that you spent 30 on, right?
No, they were gifted to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You want a giveaway.
So I bought that, and then I got all 3 structure decks. So,
okay.
And I got Jess this box case, this deck box, and card sleeves and everything. But I feel like I told myself all I want is a friend to play Magic with. this is Disney. Jess loves Disney. Me and my girlfriend can play, or fiance can play Lorcana together, but we're never gonna play.
I mean,
it's just a fantasy.
Yeah, I feel so. When I picked up my pre-release pack for Wilds of Eldraine, there was a Lorcana League that was going on, and there was like no one there for it. I think Lorcana is going to be, everyone is like, look at this sweet Elsa picture. I'm going to buy this for this picture of Elsa, and it's going to be like all of that, just people collecting for the art.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's some sweet art for that.
Yeah, can you drop the second interview we did with Omar if you want to pull it up? I think it was the second one. I don't think it was the first one. If you know a YouTube channel
tomorrow and he's gonna like find out there's a feud going on with him and Gem.
There's no feud. Okay, I'll just say here, there's no feud. He just said that he felt like he did more prep work and it wasn't fun to do a collaboration if he did more prep work. You know, that was. Yeah, I think it's like me and Jordan. It's not fun to do videos with Jordan because, or it's not fun to do live streams with Jess because Jess says we're going to talk about our 5 favorite Batman comics. So I spend all day taking notes and writing about why they're my favorite. And then he just reads the chat the whole time, you know?
What are your 5 favorite Batman comics?
Oh, God. I mean, I love, I don't know if I'd count it as one, but I love Batman by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I really like Black Mirror.
It'd be Dark Victory for you, right? Like if I force you to like, okay.
Black Mirror, I really love Black Mirror. Awesome. And Death of the Family is special for me.
Okay.
It was one of the earliest comics I read.
Okay.
So I remember I don't remember what the situation was, but I was at a mall and they had a bookstore. And I had to kill like an hour or something. Maybe I forget what the situation was. But I was going through and I saw this cover of like the Joker's face peeled off. And I was like, what the heck? And I just read all of Death of the Family in this bookstore for free, which I'm sure the bookstore probably wasn't too happy about that. But I've always loved Death of the Family. I understand I don't need all of Scott Snyder's run in absolute format. But I do wish we would have eventually got. I would have loved Death of the Family, Endgame, and Last Night on Earth in absolutes would have been really cool.
All right. Now,
if you ever read any of those.
So I've read Snyder up through Death of the Family when it came out. I have the whole run now outside of Last Night on Earth, and I keep meaning to like go back and actually read through it. I just haven't finished it, but. I really liked the setup of Death of the Family. And I feel like at the end of it, it kind of just sort of like fell away. And it just, and maybe this was just like a situation of expectations versus, you know, of like what it's being built up to be versus what it is. Kind of like with this game that you used to play when you were just a youngin' called Fable. Where everybody hated on that because Peter Molyneux talked about how it was going to like reinvent the genre. And it's like, no, it's just a, you know, cool game. But it seemed like it was going to be this really major restructuring of everything. It was going to like be a reset for Batman. And really it was just like, oh, people are kind of just mad at him a little bit at the end of it.
Yeah, I wonder if I wonder if he was just overhyping it, or if his original plans were to restructure Batman without the use of his family so much and put him on his own for a while, or if editorial got in and said no to that, you know? Because like I always wonder about that.
This is New 52. He has told one story before that. Like he was the one who created the new continuity, and right before that is just. Court of Owls and City of Owls, and that's basically just, at least in that title, it's just Batman versus Owls. If you know, there's the Night of Owls and the others are there, and most of those stories are terrible, but like that story is all basically just Batman v Owls. So in Death of the Family, they bring in the side characters just to kind of tear them away. So if like that was the reason, I think it's poor placement there. Yeah, like
because I mean, it's not like Batman really had a full reboot with the New 52. You know what I mean? Like, it was like everything happened, but in 5 years, which I don't even know how you can have that many Robins, including Damian being 10 or 11, whatever old he is.
Yeah.
So,
by the way,
but,
Kix, sorry, not to cut it off, but since
do it, yeah.
we're way behind, Kix put down a pretty interesting list right here. I'm going to ignore that first one because he said he included Grant Morrison Batman, which everybody knows is not worth talking about. So we're just going to, it's a top 4. Long Halloween's a classic. Ego by Darwin Cook. Have you read Ego?
I haven't. I got really interested in it when they first announced the Batman box set for the books that were going to be related to, because like the Batman was such a special movie for me because Robert Pattinson is my favorite actor.
Like
so the
ever?
fact that
interesting.
It's Ryan Gosling and Robert Pattinson are my 2 favorite actors,
right.
And I like the movie that the director Matt Reeves watched that made him want him for Batman is a movie I love called
Are you going to say Water for Elephants?
No, it's Robert.
It's
for the people. It's done for the people that did Uncut Gems, the Sadafi brothers. Good Time.
Breaking Dawn.
But no, I really like it. I feel like I've always liked Hush, but I feel like there's a lot of Hush haters out there. Like a lot of people that are like, I've heard this a lot recently where people say, if Jim Lee didn't do the art, would we even be talking about Hush as that good of a Batman story? And I'm like, I don't know, but like the art is part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Counterpoint. He did do the art. So we are still talking about it. And I mean, the flip side is he did the art for All-Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder. And we talk about that in a very particular way. Very different than Hush. I mean, like Hush. Hush is one of those stories, I think, that like it feels great when you're reading it. And when you step back and you think about it, like it doesn't hold up as well. Where there are some that like there are stories that the more you think about it, the more you build, the more you realize. And there's something to that. But there's also something just like that feels great when you're reading it and you're really enjoying it. And Hush is absolutely that.
I don't even know what to say about this. This is frightening. It'd be fun. Have you seen the Marvel swimsuit edition where it's like just the 2 ripped Jack guys? I tried to make a thumbnail with that one and I couldn't. My favorite was the one.
Just asked me for a picture of me. Like I would have just sent it to you.
I tried to. My favorite one was the one where you're Hawkeye and you're shooting Ant-Man, and it's me because I'm way shorter. Also, BJ, when are we gonna do a stream together, man? I would love to do a stream with you. We've like chatted on the phone once. That was fun. Me and him had a good phone conversation. I like it because he's like me where he has that like marketing education experience and he sees YouTube as like a marketing thing. So we're able to talk about that in like a fun way.
Yeah. Kix is good people.
I've only watched the movie and I thought the movie was dreadfully boring. But I'm sure wasn't there a deluxe or an absolute that was supposed to come out and then they canceled it? Okay. Ego was Darwin Cook, right?
Cook, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. There's like a mishmash of like oversized Darwin stories for the Ego Deluxe, which for a while that was the only way to get Selina's big score in an oversized artwork version. And then they started off Catwoman at Beast End. I point to a bookshelf that's off screen and you can't see in the beginning of that. But yeah, so it was Ego starts that off, and then it's Selina's big score. And I think there's like, I think they might have had 1 or 2 of his stories from Solo in that too. Solo is excellent, by the way. Do you know about Solo?
What's Solo?
So he was this bounty hunter that helped a Jedi named Luke Skywalker.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes.
Hold on.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not. I wasn't a fan of the faces, but everything else I thought was gorgeous. I think I did a video on Ego a while back. I'm sure James can post that video. Fable said I could watch the grass grow.
I think you were supposed to have kids in Fable too, and like start a whole generation and be like a generation of heroes and things. But Solo was a series that came out in like the mid 2000s, where it was a 12-issue maxi series, and the whole
Is that the
idea.
Adam West Batman or?
Yeah. So this is
Okay.
Mike Allred drawing the
Oh,
1960s.
that is.
Yeah, so he's doing the Batusi there, which was a famous dance he did in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
So
I've seen the GIF.
each of the different issues, there was a different artist who did all of the artwork solo, and they were like masters of the craft. Like it starts off with Tim Sale, and then it goes through. Darwin had a issue on that. Howard Chaykin is on there. Like Paul Pope, Mike Allred, as you can see on the cover, and they go through some of the stories they do themselves. Some of the stories they bring in a collaborator who's, you know, like a regular, someone that works with them a lot. And Darwin did, I think he did all of the stories himself, but they did some stuff. Have you read all the way through Absolute All-Star Batman, or not All-Star to Superman for All Seasons?
Yes, yeah, I did read it. I read it once.
Well, but have you read the Absolute version?
Yes.
So you know that side story that's about him in high school with Lena and like them going to prom, and
when he tells her that he's Superman at the end of it, or yeah.
So that was originally published in solo here. So it was.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so there's like this is from the Tim Sale one.
Oh wow.
That, by the way, one of my absolute favorite stories that's in here is just this like black and white story that he does. It's just a few pages long. Absolutely excellent. But
dude, I gotta get that. Is that book still in print? Like that's the most I've been baited in a long time.
Unfortunately, it's not. It used to be super cheap to find. And then cartoonist Kayfabe,
James in the link.
Cartoonist Kayfabe did an episode on it, and then of course it like blew up, and everybody got in on it. But like, yeah, like this is part of Darwin's issue, and so it's just all these sweet one-off issues of just the things that like these master artists want to draw and tell stories about. That's
awesome, man.
Yeah. I don't know how that came up.
Why didn't Great House get an issue in solo?
This came out in 2005, so I think he would have been still in college at that point.
Never read the proper version. I think there was like for a while that might have been the only deluxe edition of, or maybe it was the Hush that was on. I think it was Noir. One of them was the only way to get it in deluxe. So, because like they have the 30th anniversary or the 25th anniversary one, and they, like it's one of those ones like the Death of Superman where they make it seem like it's a deluxe, but it's standard size. We'll get up for a stream soon. Been super busy with church lately, but I'll have time in the next few weeks, I think. Heck yeah, we'll plan it for after my wedding because I am leaving Sunday and we got a lot to do. Coming soon, Bunkmaster takeover of the Brave and the Boys channel.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
While you're gone, I'll just hold things down. I
feel like you and Jordan could do a great stream together, just the two of you.
Just us being like authentically like connecting really hard.
Without me trying to suck the profit out of everything.
Yeah, it'll just be two young bucks connecting really hard with each other.
Because I feel like with me and Jordan, we fight over who's the top bunk, and who's the bottom buck. But I love that you're a power bunk.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know how to go further with that.
Yeah, no.
Wait, when is your wedding and honeymoon? You are not doing it. Okay. We're doing a very short engagement. So here's the whole story if I haven't told it already. Also, did anyone watch my 5 deluxe video and how I started it off with the video of me proposing? I thought that was so cute. And I didn't get one comment on that. So we planned Hawaii like 6-7 months ago. And we talked about it and we really wanted me to propose in Hawaii. We would do a long engagement. We'd save up for a wedding and blah, blah, blah. The thing is, I love being the center of attention when families aren't involved. For some reason, when I'm around like her family or my family, I'm kind of like shy. I'm like more like reserved or whatever. But like we didn't like the idea of being the center of attention at a big wedding that we didn't even like. A lot of her family overtakes planning for parties and things like that, so we knew we wouldn't get a lot of a say. So basically, we also looked at how expensive weddings were, and we decided, why don't we just get married in Hawaii? So that was, I don't know, 8 weeks or 6 weeks before we went to Hawaii. So I planned a proposal. And now we planned a wedding, and we're doing a reception in October. I'll have my in-person bachelor party in October.
Wait, you already had your bachelor party. Why would you need another one? We gave you everything you needed.
I feel like Omar was worried about me. He was like, so this is your bachelor party? And I was like, this is my YouTube bachelor party. I was very clear about what it was. I have friends.
Fred. Yeah. Is that a Freudian slip there? You telling us the truth? I have friend.
I'm gonna be getting the deluxe edition.
And moving on.
I think Jordan has the edition that comes when you buy the DVD, or it comes with like a digital code to the Under the Red Hood movie that Best Buy used to sell.
I have not read that since that was coming out. I was buying the Judd Winnick run off the stand, and there is so much more to that than just the Red Hood reveal. Like, that's what started off the Judd Winnick run, and that was all that all like kind of spun out of Hush and everything that went with that. But I think the Judd Winnick run is really underrated. I really liked what he was doing with that. And unfortunately, a lot of those issues just simply don't exist in any other form right now.
I don't know what this means, but it's all caps, so it's important for Cycle. Do you know what the Michael Woods Haley Kala Highway record is?
I don't, but I bet Google does.
That's because many of us are unwashed and unloved comic geeks. Your marital bliss is I have to say that I love my fiance because we share all of our money, and she has given the go ahead for most of these books that I didn't get as giveaways. I should have filled my proposal when I texted my wife. You could have done a screen recording. That would have been cute, I guess. Did you text her in all caps when you proposed to her? That'd be. I hope her family isn't watching this stream. Oh, it is on Facebook, so if they do, hello.
I'm guessing that, I don't know if he's talking about a bike record or a driving record, but Haleakala Highway is a challenging road located in the Hawaiian island of Maui. Are you doing Big Island?
No, we're just doing Oahu.
Okay. It holds the world record for climbing to the highest elevation in the shortest distance of 35 miles. So
I love that. I don't think I'm there yet. I mean, I went to the gym today for 30 minutes, but I don't think I'm ready for the longest mountain. We have a couple fun things planned.
Tell the people about your routine. Come on now. This is exciting stuff.
I didn't do a full body. I didn't actually do a body workout. My thing is, like, in the past, I go too hard the first couple of days at the gym, and then I'm too sore and stop going. Yep. So I just wanted to get in the habit of going. Yep. So I did 30 minutes of 10 incline at a 3.53 speed without touching, because people hold the treadmill when they're walking. That makes it not an incline, so they're just doing it for no reason. But so without holding it, just going like huffing and puffing, So,
okay. So just all cardio when you were there today, then?
Yeah, all cardio. So
nice.
I'll hit up the weights later this week, I think.
Okay.
Me and Bunk do this thing where he invites me to his Magic the Gathering tournament yesterday, so I'll invite him to my in-person bachelor party. We'll never go, but someday.
Dude, don't invite me to things that I'm not supposed to be at.
I'd have fun.
Such a couch response. I'd have fun. Yeah,
I don't think you'd like it.
We're just weird.
We're just gonna rent a cabin and play board games all night.
That was, so I did a bachelor weekend, but for the majority of it, we got a cabin out in national forest land, and we just like cooked over an open fire, and we just like hung out. We went hiking through. My dog went like running through the woods. It was great, man.
I love my fiance because we share all of our money. No, I mean because she supports. She maybe not supports. She accepts my book purchasing. Love the Walt Disney World. Thank you. My fiance worked at Disneyland for about 5 years, so we did Disney World twice, and we have a good time. We love it. The problem is, I sent Bunk a photo today. When I met Jess, my fiance, I had just lost about like 50 pounds. I was really into fitness, and then when you get into a relationship, you gain what's called happy weight. So this was
show that photo. That was Jake looking good.
Oh, do you want the photo? Okay, so this was the graph of me at my lowest, which was 145. This was, where was it? Okay, this was me at my heaviest. Here, let's get rid of that comment. And I just look, that was like the height of my alcoholism, not doing great. Cropped my ex out of the photo.
The hat, I think, is the worst crime that's going on right there.
We were at the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland was closed that day, so they had a photo opportunity. I wasn't actually wearing that hat,
milady.
And then this was me at my like fittest.
Dang, that is some premium grade A beef right there.
Right.
Give me 2 buns. I'ma slap that in the middle.
While Jake is gone, BunkmastaB will do a show with Jordan and Cycle Cleveland. Oh, that would hurt.
Would you be more upset if you left the channel and just said like, okay, guys, just hold on to it, if your subscriber numbers fell drastically or shot way up while you were gone? Because honestly, I feel like you would be more insulted if your numbers way up while you were not there posting things.
Oh, that's true. Maybe I don't know.
I think you try and like convince yourself like, okay, it's cool. They grew the audience base. Like, this is new opportunities for me. Like, this is, I'm going to up my content game now with this. But like in the back of your head, you're going to be like, those sons of bitches. Like they did this, not me. I didn't earn this.
I posted an article so me and Run Me Through are on the Gym Mint Facebook page. And I posted an article about how Ahsoka like had the highest because originally there was an article that was on there that said Ahsoka had the lowest views of any Disney Plus show, and then Disney came out and actually announced it had the highest view of any of their shows, and they never let my article post because they thought it was too controversial, I guess. So
how dare you submit a different narrative than what we want?
See, that's how I treat my Usagi. Speaking of which, let's talk Usagi.
Let's talk Usagi, man.
Let me answer this question really fast. I went as a kid. This is going to sound terrible. I went as a young kid when I was not beat down enough from life to actually enjoy an actual vacation. So I was just because so my parents had cable, but the only channel we had was Boomerang. So all my cartoon shows were from the 70s or the 60s. And I couldn't relate to the other kids in school. And I was excited on vacation to finally have the channels I didn't have at home. But I haven't been as an adult who needs a vacation.
I actually, I kind of feel that. Growing up, I grew up in rural Vermont, as some people here know. And we had just rabbit ear antennas on our TV for many, many years. And so it was just whatever we could get was what I saw. But at my grandma's house, she had Fox, and Fox was what had X-Men, and Power Rangers and all that. So it was just the most exciting thing about going there. As a kid, you love your grandma. But you get to watch Fox. That was such this treat for me as a kid.
You know what? Send me your favorite brand of bicycle shorts, and I'll start wearing them at the gym. I was going to go to a highway until a coworker told me about the giant forearm length centipedes that bite. Jake going to a cabin to read
the Necronomicon.
145.
Barata. Nick. I said it.
Okay.
2 people here will appreciate that.
And we're demonetized. My ex-girlfriend told me I couldn't have a bachelor party because I don't even have an associate's degree. Spooey with the puns. I was as fat as I'd ever been for my wedding because I'd been hit by a car a while before that and couldn't bike. Wait, you're into biking?
Why is this the first we've ever heard of this?
He would be more sad if they shot way up. I think it wouldn't be sad. He would be surprised.
I mean, no, I think he's talking about because you're behind.
Yes.
Jordan's talking about with the subscribers.
No. I wouldn't be sad if the subscribers shot up. I would be surprised, and I wouldn't know why.
Wait,
but
like people like the stuff you do? You made people watch?
Ouch! Did they catch the person, or was it hit and run? The person stopped and made a fall immediately, but it was a clear-cut thing anyways. There were many witnesses as well. Okay, here we go. Back to Usagi. I read it because we got a heartbreaking photo in the Jabronis chat. BJ Kix's daughter broke his Usagi hat on his Usagi action figure. So I thought in honor of that, in honor of Bunk recently reading it, because we were supposed to read it at the same time, I would read.
We said this summer. I read it in the summer.
Yeah. Is it fall now? Are we in fall?
I don't think technically until like the 22nd. So we're still in summer.
For us, we love fall, but we can't bring out the fall decorations until after Hawaii because we still want Hawaii to feel like it's happening in the summer.
I get that.
If that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Usagi. I loved the first arc where it was his training. I thought it had great tropes, but it did things in its unique own way. I really enjoyed it. The one-off tales, I had mixed feelings, but it was never like some were bad and some were good. It was that I loved some and I liked some.
So do you have the as I'm pointing, I'm so bad at this. The hardcover set right there.
I do have it, but I wasn't. I think what I was reading was that I have it digitally also because I was reading at work. So I busted in some samurai soundtrack OST music like in one ear while I was reading at work, and because
what I was gonna because the
hey, and I'm back.
Welcome back, buddy. We're talking about Usagi. How much do you love Usagi?
So in the book that I tried to get him to buy the special edition, and he said, "I don't need to collect Usagi."
Because I'm gonna fall down a rabbit's hole if I collect.
Because he's a rabbit.
So for me, what it was the special edition. Does it start with his origin story? It's called Samurai.
Yeah, so the special edition starts because like the origin story that's in what was volume 2 of Fantagraphics. So
okay.
I'm trying to catch up on the chat.
So I read issues of Usagi 1 through 9.
So, yeah, well, because it gets renumbered like so many of those series. So I think they
say Fantagraphic books down below.
Wow, Josh said I'm dead to him because I haven't read Usagi.
Josh, a lot of people are dead to him for a lot of different reasons.
After our amazing conversation that we had on the last live stream, I'm dead to him.
So so one of them was like one of the one-off tales was he meets like a woman whose like son is a debt collector, and she's like Usagi, my son's evil, we have to stop him. There was one where a town they all worked for like a manager, they like produced silk,
the silk farmer. Yeah,
that was my favorite of the one-offs. And then there was one where it almost felt like a Witcher villain or Witcher monster. There are these like turtles that like jump out of the swamp, but if you feed them cucumbers, they don't eat you. And he the
kappas. Yeah, so
the kappas.
Like kappas are a traditional Japanese like river spirit.
And then I got it where he meets Spot, his little companion.
Okay, yeah. So this is, by the way, So this right here is the beginning of the Homecoming arc, and it's like that many pages into the beginning. So all of this stuff are the stories that happened before that. But
Okay.
if you liking those sort of longer narrative stories, the last story that's contained in this first volume, and if you're reading it digitally, it's named on its own volume, The Dragon Bellow Conspiracy. I think you'll like that one. That's like 170 pages of one continued story, and it brings in all of the different characters that you've met before. So it's
Okay.
mostly like kind of one-off stories and here and there. It's an anthology series, but that one I think you'll dig, especially if you liked your favorite was that original origin story that continued through.
Jake, did you ban?
I don't know
Josh
why.
from stream?
No, I just haven't been. Oh my god, we're so behind in the chat. The first volume of Usagi features all the backups and other Fantagraphics comics. The second volume of Usagi are the first issues of the original series. IDW volumes start with the actual volume 2.
There you go.
I grew up in Jim Lee's prime time. Kappa, that's a real myth. Jordan Jake said I was banned from. I never said that.
Josh, you and I will do a stream when he's gone on vacation, getting married.
I thought we were planning another stream in October.
Yeah, but this is the secret stream.
This is just a Jordan and Josh getting deep into it stream.
But
Now,
I don't even think Jordan has access to StreamYard. So
I have access to our account.
I'm gonna change the passwords. I'm never pitching for it. Dude, it's $50 a month, and I've never seen a dime from you.
You don't have to do the $50 a month. I thought you dropped down to the 720p quality.
I bumped it up for the bachelor party stream.
Oh, hello, friend. Bring him to me.
Usagi never intended to be an ongoing series. It was meant to be an unrelated side story.
Oh, who do you got there? But who do you got there?
Come here.
All right, bye.
That's the new addition to the Perez family.
No.
Jordan dead to me. Wait, so that cat's last name is Perez? It's not Isabel's last name?
No.
Don't you gotta put a ring on it first before it has the same last name as you? What did Josh say? You gotta buy the milk?
I have nipples, Greg. She has a ring.
Usagi and Rabbit and Yojimbo equal bodyguard. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Rabbit with the swords. Okay. Is that showing up for people or is that weird boxes on the YouTube? Because I thought StreamYard had a glitch where you couldn't see emojis. But that seems to be working. I love Hush and I don't have it physically. Debating on the Omni. Okay, so a roguish type. Do you have the Paul Dini omnibus? Because I think if you have the Paul Dini omnibus and the Absolute, you'd be fine just keeping that. I'm gonna upgrade, but I don't make sense. Valzad, do you have the Paul Dini omnibus? I would say if you don't have the Paul Dini omnibus, get the Hush omnibus.
Yeah, that's where I'd come in with it too. I've got Hush and Absolute. I've got the Paul Dini omnibus. There's a few different things that, from what I can tell, kind of come in there that haven't been printed before, but I don't think it's necessary unless you really like the character of Hush and you want to see everything about that character.
And I will be buying the Hush Saga omnibus, so I'll let you guys know how it goes.
I can't wait to see a video on the Brave and the Boys telling me about the differences and what's what you get in one versus the other.
Hey, that means
That'll
I got
a good video.
Yeah, maybe like all the different ways that you can collect Watchmen.
Oh, stop it! That's the one we're recording tomorrow.
I mean, we are? Do you have a plan?
No. Should I get Josh in here for this?
I always have a plan.
So I am at least digitally issues 1 through 8. It's been fun to read at work, but I stopped because I have to do I get to do a V for Vendetta review soon because OPB gave me a copy of it. And V for Vendetta is kind of a dense read. but it's
Mhm.
super good.
Yeah.
All right,
Like,
boys. It is my time to go because I have food in front of me. So,
okay,
thanks for having me on the stream twice.
Did you just
I do.
thank for having on your own stream?
Listen, I wasn't planned to be here in the first place. So,
You guys
technically,
have an
stream-
interesting
Glad you could
relationship.
make a guest appearance.
Bye. You're right. Bye.
Later. Yeah, V is super dense, man, and there are some things that are like a crossover with the movie, but the movie is like very much made more as like a superhero movie, whereas the actual book itself is very, very introspective. There's it gets a lot more graphic, especially the tortures of Evie when she is held captive. Have you finished, or I don't want to spoil anything.
So the book starts out with, let's see if I remember. The book starts out with Evie, and she's a prostitute. She tries to solicit a cop, and the cops are like, "This is a certain level of offense. We get to decide what happens to you." And the cops are obviously going to do something to her that I can't say if we want to say monetized. V comes out, kills him, and that's the night that he blows up the building and shoots off the fireworks. And then he starts crossing off people that were related to the camp that he was in. So he kills that guy that's really into dolls. He kills that lady's wife who was like the doctor there that actually put the serum inside him. And then at one point, Eve's like, "Yo, how come we've never done anything?" And she's like, "Are you my father?" And he goes, "No." And then he just releases her into the wild. And I didn't know what that was about. Like, it would have been better if he was like, "No, you're 16. That's inappropriate. I'm not down for that." But Alan Moore was writing that book, so of course we're not going to get that.
Yeah, Lost Girls. The 16 isn't the issue there.
Yeah, no, it's like Indiana Jones. That's my beef with Indiana Jones, was watching it with my fiance, and that scene in the first one where he meets Miriam and she's like, "I was a child," and he was like, "You were old enough to know what I was doing." And apparently George Lucas wanted her to be 13 at that time.
Oh, cool. So he was pulling a Karl Malone. Awesome. Love to see
I don't know who that is because I don't associate with things like that.
Good. He's a big famous basketball player, and it turns out just because you're good at basketball doesn't mean you're a good person. Who knew?
I watched your video where you said you grew up in a rural area, but I didn't know what state. I loved your last video because of all the pretty nature shots. I'm glad you used that, and it wasn't just like you talking in the basement again. It was a nice change of pace.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was like born from laziness. It was like, I'm not going to want to make a video when I get back. And so I'm just going to walk around in different places. And then I just reuse the B-roll from the previous week's footage. But I figured if I made it small, people wouldn't really notice. That's why there's no Nightwing Volume 3 B-roll when I talk about that. I'm just like, there's no here. Just look at the hike.
Did you like Nightwing Volume 3?
I did. So clearly someone didn't watch my video, or else you'd know what I thought about it.
No, I watched it. You said, yeah, I want to talk about it, though. I was trying to segue us into it.
Yeah. No,
my favorite part of your video was when you call out that comic for not passing the Bechdel test, because I love doing that about movies and books and things.
Yeah, and it sucks, man, because like it's following a group of 5 characters, and 2 of them are women, and like they're in very different things. And the first time I read it, it was just like, oh, it's interesting because like they have their own arcs, and she's trying to play her own game just like all of the rest of them. And then like you read the early on, and it's like, oh, it's all defined by their relationship with men. Oh, that's
so it was directed by Christopher Nolan.
It's r/women written by men. But yeah, so anyway, on Nightwing Volume 3, I'm going to start by saying I liked it, but because I liked it, I'm more critical about it than something I read where it's like, yeah, it was good. Like I enjoyed it. Volume 1, I thought was basically a perfect superhero comic. Like Leaping to the Light, I gave it 10 out of 10. And I'm like, this is what superhero comics should be. And it goes from there to Fear State, which is like a little tough to judge.
This is one of my favorite jokes in BoJack Horseman. Is my problem with women any movie directed by Christopher Nolan? Because yes, women are involved, but it's never really about the women. It's about me.
But yes,
like I said, we've talked before about how the first one is a perfect superhero comic.
Yeah, and then Volume 2 isn't like, you go to Fear State, which is a tie-in, so it's like, you can't really like do much there.
I don't even own Fear State. That's how and
there's
much
like
I don't care about it
in there.
Yeah,
there's 2 issues that are part of that, and then there's an annual that's written by someone else. Like you can skip it.
Yeah. Like in my Nightwing video, I don't even include it. I include the 3 Nightwing trades.
Well, DC didn't. I mean, it goes. It's Volume 1 and then Volume 2. So yeah. Volume 2, I think I probably would have been disappointed if I was reading it in issues monthly. And let me know what you think about this, because I'm curious, as someone who named their cat, if you had a different take on this. But like with Volume 2, it read really fun as a trade, but it sets the pace with that first issue, 89, I think, the one where it's like one continuous shot, and it's like, listen, you're gonna read through all of this in about 20 minutes, but it's gonna be really fun while you do it. It's just gonna be continuously like someone's trying to kill Dick, and it's just gonna go bang, 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 and we're gonna be done with that. Cool. Like,
I would say what I liked about it was, because I read it as it was coming out. Like I would read like 2 issues, and then a couple weeks later I'd read the next one or whatever. But I didn't it wasn't as impactful for me as when I reread it when the hardcover came out. And I liked it because what I love about Nightwing, and that's so refreshing versus like Batman, is that Nightwing's not afraid to call on his friends for help. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's not like Batman, where he's like, I have to do this alone, and I love that, like, if you try to kill Dick Grayson, his friends are going to come and protect him, and I thought that was really cool. And now we eventually got a Titans book, which I haven't read yet, but I'm excited to read that, but I loved seeing his use of the Titans, his use of Nightwing's friends, and I thought it was good. I think I liked the 3rd trade a little bit better, but I messed up because I was reading it digitally, even though I had it physically. I was reading it when I was in Washington, and I read the first issue of the 3rd trade, and then I read what will be the 4th trade, skipping the entirety of the 3rd trade on accident. And I was just like, what the hell happened? Like, I didn't understand what happened at all. And then I had to go realize I skipped like 4 issues, and I had to go back, and it made way more sense. But I liked it. I feel like the 2nd trade is the second one when I get it mixed up. Is the second one, so the one that we're talking about, the Get Grayson, is that when you get the reveal of like his family member, or is that in the first book?
That's in the first one. So
okay, I felt like towards the end of the first book, there wasn't as much like plot happening as I wanted, and the second one really steps on the gas. So I did really enjoy the second one.
Yeah, I mean, the second one is nothing but action. Like, there's almost no plot. It's basically just like, here are attempts. And to your point, like, it brings in some great characters. You get to see the supporting cast come around him. But, like, the entire thing is people try and kill Dick Grayson. Spoiler alert, he's not dead. They fail. And then
did it get a little old for you? Or was it short enough that you enjoyed it?
Yeah, reading it as a trade, I was going to say I enjoyed it. Like, if I'd been reading it monthly, if I'd been reading it issue to issue, it'd be like, I'd kind of feel let down. But as like a quick, like, I'm going to flip through this in 20 minutes. I'm going to appreciate the art, the frenetic pace. I enjoyed that as like kind of a separate thing, but especially coming off of Fear State, where it was like, okay, we're getting something else. Like, I wanted to get back into all of that. And it felt, very different than that. But so I agree with you on Volume 3, in the Battle for Bloodhaven's Heart, that it was better, but I wanted it to be even better. Like volume 1, I feel like showed that this volume of Nightwing was going to be a different kind of comic. This wasn't just rich white dude beats up petty offenders and helps other rich white dudes feel safe in their city, which is like, superhero wish fulfillment has been like that forever. It's just like, people on the street, just punching dudes and just like going about your merry way. Hooray, everything's safe. Like volume 1 is like, hey, this isn't how you actually deal with real structural inequality in a city. Let's tackle that as an issue. I'm like, oh crap, like that's cool. Like, let's see how they do that.
So you wanted more issues of Dick Grayson filling out the paperwork to get his charity started and submitting his paperwork and then, making an LLC. And then,
dude, if he wants to, talk about the formation of his single member LLC, like whether or not, I assume he's filing for an EIN. If he is just using his social as a single member, it's going to be an entirely new can of worms. No, but like my big thing with that is, no, I know. But like my thing is, it ended up being wish fulfillment in kind of the other way. And it felt too easy. So like the issue, and I guess slight spoilers here for volume 3 of Nightwing. So, everyone put your hands over if you've got headphones, that won't do anything. But like the whole part where the cops attack Haven, because they're on Blockbuster's payroll, and it's this, he unmasks them and the cameras are down and they can't do it. It just like, it was so convenient and easy, and like bad policing and police reform has been such a hot button issue recently. And there's always been this idea of how does a superhero work within the parameters of the legal system? What's their relationship with the police? In Bloodhaven, we know it's a corrupt police force, but like, it felt so celebratory on an issue that's way bigger, that again, it kind of it felt like it swung back into just traditional superhero comic. What's bad? Crime. Let's punch crime in the face. Now there's no crime. Hooray for no crime. It was like the same way.
Yeah.
What's bad? Bad policing. Let's punch bad policing in the face. Hooray, they're all gone.
I guess like now that volume 3 kind of wraps up the plot, like overall, when you say volume 3, are you talking about the volume 2, or are you talking about the actual third volume? So
the battle for Bloodhaven's heart that just came out.
Okay, but that's the one that they call volume 2, right?
No, it's the one they call volume 3. So there's
Dick Grayson is volume 2. Sorry, Dick Grayson is volume 2. Battle for Bloodhaven's heart is volume 3. Okay, got it. Sorry, I was getting mixed up. I feel like I get what you're saying. So like at volume 1 promises to be something different, and then it's, oh shoot, he can't do those different things because he's constantly getting attacked, or he's fighting against Blockbuster, or all these different things. But it would still be, there's still a chance that it could be the book that we hope it is, but we'll see.
And by no, it's still a good book, but it's just like, because of the high bar of volume 1 and like the different direction they were trying to take it, like I want them to live up to that, and I just feel like it hasn't quite lived up to that lofty standard. Still a great comic, still really enjoyed it, but it's just like, you could be better. Like, why not be better?
The art is phenomenal, though.
Oh, well, the other thing too is volume 3 is where you get some fill-in art issues from Bruno, where it's not Bruno Redondo. So it's like, it makes you appreciate Redondo that much more. Like the fill-in art is still great, but
that was the artist that you just got some pages from, right? Or that you just...
No, he doesn't come on until a little bit later. So I've got a commission out for Danielle Di Nicolo, who did a fill-in issue for one of the future ones. I think of him more as doing Seven Soldiers with Tom Taylor for Boom. Did you read that one?
I didn't.
Yeah, read it digitally when you have a second. Like, you'll get through all 3 volumes in like an afternoon, and it's like the best animated series you'll ever read. It just, everything moves so fast, everything's so fluid. It's great.
If you want to beat Bar, bring up Toast. Why is Bunk talking about Blockbuster the video? Okay, it's always funny when you work your way backwards, because you're like, why is he talking about But okay, so I liked Blockbuster for movies more, but I liked Hollywood Video's video game store more.
I grew up in a small town where we didn't have either of them, but I did get the quintessential high school experience of working in a video rental store for Showtime Video. So that was pretty
Why
sweet.
does it just sound like there's like the most graphic porn of that one? Did you have like the beaded room and
oh yeah,
like
yeah.
and did you see like did you see adults that you knew in other areas of your life, like from the local church or like one of your teachers be like, "Oh, I'm just grabbing something for a friend," and they'd like grab the most graphic video you'd ever seen?
Never saw anyone that I knew, but like the funny stories I have from that are from the porn room. So there was like one guy who came out and like rented one, and when you scan it in, it'll let you know if like the person has rented it before, so that way they don't accidentally get something they've got before. And this dude comes in.
How many times had he rented it?
It didn't tell me like how many times, but like he rented it, and I was like, "Oh, just a heads up, you've already seen this one." He's like, "Oh, thanks for the heads up." So goes back in. He gets another one, comes out.
He'd already seen it too.
He'd already seen that. And we get like 3 deep with that when he's just like, what, I'll just watch it again.
Isn't 3 Deep the name of one of the videos he
And that was it. Yeah. Yeah, so it had done, and then at 3 he was like, you know what? I just that's fine. And then there was like another one where there was a guy and a girl. They were probably in their mid-20s, and like they went in there, and they'd been in there like a little while. And like there was no sound or anything coming from there, and like you kind of see, so like there wasn't any like funny business. No, but like it was time to close up, and they were still in there, and so I was like, oh god. Hey guys, knock on a beaded curtain. We're closing. Can you leave, please? And like they come out and like, yeah, we'll get this one. I'm like, cool. There you go. All right, you get it, and please leave.
Do you think it was okay? It could have been something going on in there, or it could have been. So, what do you want to watch? I'm cool with watching any of them. Okay, what about this one? 3 Guys Deep. No, I don't want to watch that one. Okay, well, what do you want to watch? Like I said, I'm cool with anything. And it's just the classic where do you want to eat scenario, but like, or like, have you ever sat with your wife trying to find out what to watch on Netflix or something, like when you've already finished something and it's just like, you just spend like 25 minutes scrolling through Netflix and you can't find anything?
We used to do that. And actually we found a really good system that avoids that now. So whether it's watching something or going out to eat, we do pick 3. So the idea is that one person, and you alternate who's who, gives the other person 3 options. And like for the spirit of it, it's like, you get to choose 3 things that you want to watch. But the idea is you want the other person to at least somewhat want to watch it. And then that other person gets to choose which one you watch from those 3. So the idea is that instead of picking from your entire library of Netflix and Hulu and whatnot, and you're doing that, it's just like, here are 3 options, choose what you want.
That's the classic parenting thing of like, do you want to wear your Superman shirt or your Spider-Man shirt? Instead of saying, do you want to put your shirt on?
100%. Yeah, just like, which shirt do you want? Yeah. I've
tried like the whole like, guess where I'm taking you to dinner tonight? And she's like, Korean barbecue. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I always heard that one. Never tried that one. But yeah, pick 3. Like that's a really good one for us. And it is exactly like you're talking about. And it's like, here are the 2 options. Except my daughter got pretty wise to that early on. She's like, neither. I want to wear this. I'm like, well, that wasn't an option. Like, but it's what I want to wear.
Did you tell that to the people in the video room? Like, did you say like, hey, me and my future wife have this suggestion called you pick 3. So one of you pick 3 of the movies and then the other.
No, but when people ask me if you could time travel back to your younger self and tell, like, at any point in your life and tell them one thing, what would it be? That's my answer.
So it wouldn't be going back in time and telling yourself to invest in Bitcoin, or
no, it would be go back and tell those guys who were hanging out real long time in the porn room, do pick 3. It'll help out immensely.
More proof that Jordan is. Oh my God, Jordan, what are you going to drink with that food? Milk? What is James's thing with milk? More proof that Jordan is the under. Okay, so if I'm the Lee and he's the Kirby, who is Bunk in the relationship? That's my next question.
I mean, like, I'm not part of this channel, so I'm Bunk.
Are you the
hey,
Ditko and just in the corner, also underappreciated?
I
And I'm also
mean,
stealing glory.
I guess, except like Ditko was like trying to tell his own stories. I would just be like some random like artist or writer for hire is just like, oh, you want to give me a contract? Sure, I'll write you a few stories. I don't want anything more than that. I got my own thing going out. I'm running my own life over here.
Why did I read that like Padme in The Revenge of the Sith, where she goes,
You're breaking my heart, Annie.
You're going down a path I cannot follow. Dude, I have a water bottle. I don't know where it is, but it has a bunch of letters with dots next to it, and it's the whole like, I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. And the next line goes, it's like, why any? Your new empire. And it's just the whole quote, and I absolutely love it.
I mean, my favorite is still absolutely have I told you the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. And then just like, the whole copy pasta.
Those Batman books on the shelf look amazing. I think he's talking about these ones. And I want to give one more shout out to Sonny, aka Super Laugh Hard, for the incredible gift. He's currently shipping Jordan's set right now. But I'm very, 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 very grateful for those amazing gifts.
I just have to say, Comics Internet is better for Super Laugh Hard. Like, anytime you ever hear Super Laugh Hard's name come up, it's either like, this is an amazing thing that was shipped, I can't believe this guy's doing it, or just like being just a solid dude in the chat. Like,
also, why did he have like 36 sets of sealed copies of the Eagle? Like, did he buy out the bankrupt company of Eagle Moss or something just to save him for future YouTubers?
I know for a while, like Eagle Moss, like they were liquidating stuff, and you could go on like the company Zavi was doing like these mixed trade books where it was like you could buy 15 DC hardcovers for like $10 or something, and it was just like mix and match Eagle Moss stuff. So
dude,
I would
love the connected spines though. That's such a sexy look. Is this a hot take? V for Vendetta, the movie, is better than the comic?
If you ask Alan Moore, it definitely is. Yeah, I would disagree with that, but they're very different properties, and like different people are going to like different things. But yeah, I think the comic is like way superior. But hey,
I haven't seen the movie, but you know what? Maybe after I finish the book, that'll be the first thing we stream on the Discord. I mean, because I don't think the Brave and the Boys have incurred the wrath of Alan Moore enough. Like, my favorite was that we couldn't just have the Alan Moore emoji on our Discord. We had to have the Alan the Doll emoji also.
I mean, at this point, like, you already went full fling, Alan Moore wrath when you made a reading order for Watchmen that wasn't just, it's Watchmen, and don't buy it. Don't put any more copies in circulation.
Do you think he's gonna like Jordan's video on the different formats?
No, I think that's going to like, but again, you're already on his shit list, so he's already casting magic spells to like destroy you guys.
Spooey, if you Google it, you'll see the conversation between Spielberg and Lucas, like their quotes, and like Spielberg had to like talk her up to being older. But his George was like, it's more interesting this way. And then what do we get? We get Anakin and Padme. Anywhere left of the river is rule to me. I didn't care much for the movie, but I honestly don't remember much of it at this point. I never read the book, and I know Moore hates all adaptations he admits to having watched.
So, Spooey, if you saw it, it was Hugo Weaving. When Hugo Weaving was in everything, he was V, and it was like there was a lot more of like a superhero focus of V than there was sort of the like slow plotting, methodical, like what happened at this camp. It was more just like, look at this dude and his cool sweet knives and bullet time and everything like that.
I really like it. It's like as I'm reading it, I have the thought of like, if I was ever a professor, this would be a book that I would teach. Like if I was a professor of comics, this could easily be one of the books you talk about in class for part of the curriculum,
It's interesting, like being because when I was a comics fan in like the mid 2000s, and I was, like there wasn't comics YouTube at that point. There was the Game Facts comic and graphic novels board was like how I would interact with other people online with comics. And at that point in time, Watchmen and V for Vendetta were held like on the same level. It was like in the same breath that someone would recommend you read Watchmen, it would be V for Vendetta as well. Like they were both heralded as like the height of superhero comics and like heady and moving for that. And somewhere along the way, V for Vendetta became like, oh yeah, this is also a story that exists, and like Watchmen is now just like on its own pedestal, and like V is somewhere else, which I think is interesting.
So let's touch on that in a second. Let me answer this question first. So I'm trying, but my amazing fiance won't let me have the book until I hit 1 year sober, which is in like, I think I hit it right when I get back from Hawaii. I'm at, let's see, 11 months. I'm at 347 days.
That's
so
awesome.
I've asked her, can I just have the book, shoot my video, and then I'll give it back? And she says no. So what I want to do, my plan is I collected basically every whale that I have. And I want to do an absolute whale harpooning video where I show off the whales that I've acquired, like Dark Victory, Black Mirror, and then doing a further. I bought Jordan a copy of JLA Avengers, not the absolute. I bought him the non-recent trade paperback. So we can definitely read that and then do a video together or talk about it together. I'm really excited. I know nothing other than at one point. I think Superman grabs Thor's hammer, but other than that, I know nothing about the story. So I'm going in completely blind, and I can't wait to do a video on it. But I gotta wait like a week or two.
You're almost there, man. That's still really like that's awesome. I'm really happy for you for that, man.
Thank you. It's okay. So V for Vendetta. It's interesting because if you look at the overall real world impact, V for Vendetta was so accurate. I mean, the fact that like the whole anonymous mask, like reading it now, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, that's like, it's kind of cheesy. They do like the mask of the hacker group. No, the hacker group did the mask because of that book, So it's one of those things where this book invented a new wheel, and like maybe it's a little like not a, but this book invented something that like became the face of like anti-fascism, and like it is an incredible book. And I think the superhero thing is the least important part about it. You know what I mean? Like half the time you barely see V do anything, but it's more about like his plotting and his scheming.
Yeah.
And it's about these corrupt people in power. Like, I love it. Like the guy who ran the camp, how he loves his dolls more than he cares about his dolls more than he cared about actual human beings. Like, that is brilliant. Or like the corrupt priest that like was like, oh, she's too old, she's 16, I guess I can do it, and it's like crazy. Like, this book is taking shots at everybody. And the other thing is, I don't think I'll ever truly understand the cons, like everything he's hitting, because I didn't grow up in London in the 80s, politically in the 80s. So like, obviously, like there's like, I think there's also stuff in Miracle Man that I wasn't able to fully grasp because I don't have that lens of living in that time. But V for Vendetta, like Watchmen, I think is a more important to the superhero world, but V for Vendetta, I think might be more important to like the literature world. But I don't know if that's a controversial statement or not,
So it's actually really interesting that you bring up like that you don't have necessarily the same frame of reference because you didn't grow up under Margaret Thatcher rule.
Yeah.
That's one of actually the things that Alan Moore called out the Wachowski sisters when they made the V for Vendetta. Like, he basically said that they were cowards who, like wouldn't even make it about their own country. And, he basically was saying just that, like, this is a really personal story that I made talking about my experience in my own country. And here you guys come in being Americans and come in and try and tell this story for somewhere that you have no context for. So it's really cool that you picked that up. So
Yeah.
Alan Moore has like slightly lowered you on his spell list, hearing that.
Wait till he sees Jordan's video. Don't kink shames James. Okay, James, for your milk kink, is there a preferred milk? Because right now I'm at the state of like, I've been buying the lower calorie options for things because like I drink this meal replacement shake for some of my meals to help me like not have to calorie count every meal. And I used like the milk that Jess buys, not even checking the calories because I was used to like, I've always been like unsweetened cashew milk, which is like 30 calories. And I used her milk, not realizing like 2 cups of that milk was like 300 calories. And like, so like, what is your milk kink, man? What kind of milk is it? Like, is it a non-dairy milk? Is it almond? Is it lactate free?
I feel like James is like, I feel like James is like a dairy milk.
Unpasteurized?
I mean,
raw?
When he's feeling kinky, he's whole milk. Maybe you get him down to 2%, but James is all about the real thing, I think.
What does this mean? Bunk is Jake version of Omar, and Jake is Bunk version of Omniduck. What does that mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You mean you're going to stream anime on our Discord? Because unlike the Psycho Cleveland Monopoly, like Psycho Cleveland rules his Discord like Margaret Thatcher ruled London. He's the Margaret Thatcher of Discord, you know?
So is he just like experimenting secretly on everyone who was in there and like running his own Discord experiments? Because I did feel that way when he used the @everyone tag the other day.
Yeah, that was bold.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of like when people do that because it reminds me to go.
Not when it was me. I was on vacation. I set up the bot for our Discord, not realizing that when a YouTube video posted or an Instagram posted, Jake posted an Instagram photo, which apparently I was like chatted by like 4 people that this is an egregious use of my power and like a huge Discord faux pas. And I was like, guys, I'm new to all this. I have no one teaching me. I'm just trying to set some stuff up.
Yeah, I would prefer that like they never created it because like when someone does that, like I get excited. I'm like, ooh, another server I get to suppress @everyone.
Does Alan Moore even know how to use a computer? I don't know, maybe.
I feel like begrudgingly. Like it's one of those things like he knows how, but like if given his druthers, he will absolutely never do that.
It's an old computer. It's definitely not anything new.
He's using the same one that
takes
that George
floppy
R.R.
disks.
Martin is typing the rest of Winds of Winter on.
You know what is legit awkward? Did you watch the Gotham TV series? Poison Ivy is like 8 years old and then transforms into an adult woman. And so, dude, yikes. I watched some of Gotham. I liked the Court of Owls thing, like the singing of the Court of Owls, where like young Bruce goes to the auction and outbids everybody by 1 penny. He just flexes his how old is your collection? Old enough to give consent?
Well, originally it was only a few weeks old, but then Spielberg convinced everyone to age it up, so now it's like a few years old.
Well, no. Actually, my collection was 8 years old, but then it transformed into an adult woman and seduced a bunch of people with her looks.
I mean, isn't that just what whales are? They just seduce you with like, oh, but I need it. It looks so pretty on my shelf.
Their siren song.
Yeah.
Okay, so my collection, physical collection, besides like a couple one-off books. Wait, hold on. You're not going to In-N-Out for us?
He said sadly.
My collection really exploded at Rebirth, and I should do an episode. I should do a video where I get my long boxes and I just flip through what I have. That might be a fun video. But my Marvel collection, what you guys can see here, came in January. Started in January. in my DC collection, which you guys can see, is probably about whenever Rebirth is that 2018, 2016, 2017, 2018. But I am younger in the collection. Like that's why the other day in the Discord, one of our friends said that my list, my deluxe list had recency bias, and it's like because I bought all these books recently, you know. Like I definitely never went down the rabbit hole of whale hunting out of print deluxes because I'm sure they'll come around, you know.
Actually, I feel like deluxes probably have less of a chance of getting a reprint than an omnibus or an absolute.
That's fair, at least for Marvel, at least.
I would say even with DC, like it's kind of it has its print run, and then when it's done, unless it's an evergreen story, like they're not really rushing a lot of that stuff back out. So it's like this weird thing where if you are trying to buy New Frontier, the deluxe for New Frontier, which is an OHC, is way more expensive than the absolute. And it's the same way with Day Tripper too. Like I think now that the absolute is pretty out of print, it's shifted, but it used to be that
it just came back. It just came back for like 2 days.
I mean, was there like an actual restock or just, hey, we found it in the corner of the warehouse kind of thing?
Cheap graphic novels had 111 copies.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they just found a box.
Yeah.
But you'll see that. Oh, Jess said, OMG, stop it on air. Send me your order and I'll go when I'm not going to say that word. Something up. That's fine. Have chicken nuggets and I'll eat something later. Jordan does read absolutes, but he only buys them if they're Frank Miller. I feel like V is predicting the future until you think Margaret Thatcher. I mean, it kind of is.
I mean, that's the whole thing about history. It's all like a big circle. So we see like trends that happen now and again.
I love, I'm not sure if you ever watched the TV show Ted Lasso, but someone on Reddit said, what fictional character could grab and lift Thor's hammer no problem? And the top comment said Ted Lasso. I don't know why that's so accurate. Like, make that be one of your next pick threes.
We don't have Apple TV, man.
Do you have the app? I can just give you my login.
No, we'll get it back whenever Severance comes back.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch Severance?
I watched. Okay, so I watched Severance alone up until the penultimate episode, thinking that was the finale. So, can we do a Severance spoiler, or should we not do it?
I feel like most people here haven't seen. I mean, we'll tell you what. Let's put it to a poll on the on the chat. Let's give them a few minutes and say how do you guys feel about Severance spoilers?
I think Ted Lasso did harness Wonder Woman's lasso through therapy with his therapist. What does she say? That the truth will heal you, but it'll piss you off first. This is the joy of the host reading comments later. Miss great comments. I get to them. Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So Severance. Do you remember how the second to last episode ends? It ends with, I'm just gonna do it right here. It ends with this.
Okay.
Did that tell you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the finale of the show.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to find something to watch with. I did this thing with Jess where I pick 3 shows and she picks from it.
How dare you?
I don't know how to post a poll in the YouTube chat.
I mean, just like informally, like, hey chat, post spoilers yay, spoilers nay.
And when we started and then, even worse. Before we started watching it, I realized the show didn't end on episode 9. This was like 6 months later or 5 months later. I realized there was a 10th episode. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch it. And then she goes, oh, I'd be down to watch that. So I had to rewatch the first 9 episodes again with her until I could get to the 10th episode.
Yeah, but they were great. I'd rewatch them with you right now.
And
so
we'll stream Severance.
I'm there. Love that show.
I love Severance, dude. It's so good. Also, that's my guess of what Alan Moore's computer looks like.
Just the entire lumen and just
yeah.
Do you think he has waffle dance parties?
Dude, that show is so eerie. Like when they're like dancing is so eerie.
I mean, they have some great dancing in it because there's the musical dance expression where you choose a genre, and
yeah.
then yeah, so they defiant jazz, and then the very very weird when he has the waffle party and like they're in the house and he gets in the bed and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that is a vote for no. There will be no more spoilers. How do we give them a sign? How do we? I'll put it in the chat. Spoilers over. Having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connections.
I see it showing up on there.
Okay, cool. I think yes, that's what I was about to say. Nightfall is going back in print, so I assume Volume 3 will come after Volume 2. I think that they know the demand of that book, and we are getting reprints. Like for a lot of people, their whale wasn't like for me, even personally, me, it wasn't Nightfall 3. Well, because I bought it for whale pricing. But Batman Eternal was a lot of people's whale, and then we got Batman and Robin Eternal, or we're getting that soon. So they're bringing back Eternal, so I'm excited for that, and I'm glad because I learned patience finally, at least a little bit.
As long as you learned it eventually, as long as it gets there, that's what's important. I was thinking a little while. I don't know that I have a whale. Like for a long time, Power Rangers Deluxe Volume 1 was my big whale, and now it's like you can find it anywhere and like pretty cheap. And I have that. I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's anything that like I'm clamoring for. Like anytime someone's posting like, hey, I'm going to this shop and it has all of these out of prints. Let me know what you're looking for. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good.
I think, yeah, because like there are books that I would like that aren't in print. Like one of my whales right now that's been my whale for a long time is Solo.
You son of a bitch.
Okay, no, for real though. Like there's books that if someone found at a shop that was out of print, I would buy it at cover price, but I wouldn't pay out of print pricing, I think. But I would like to eventually get Sinestro Core War Absolute. I feel like that would look nicely after.
That's a good call.
In between my Infinite Crisis and my Final Crisis, I think that would be a good book to have.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good call right there.
Do I have the Green Lantern Omnibus? Yes. But where's my there's my other one. Yeah, I would still like that. I like having those events and absolutes. I think they work very well.
Okay.
Bunk's whales are original art from artists he doesn't have.
Yeah, no, that's facts right there. Just also like a lot of my comic buying budget has definitely shifted over to original art. So yeah, that Josh is correct there in this case.
I love it because like 3 weeks before the announcement of that, BJ sold his copy for a hefty fee to someone, and so he won on that. James, make a gif of what? I love how like
I assume that was when I said that Josh is correct.
We got to start doing more things for him to make gifs about. Like, do something gifable.
I'm not your monkey. I don't just dance at your pleasure.
I took notes. I would love a House of X, Powers of X OHC, but Marvel doesn't reprint OHCs except for Omnis. Yeah, that yeah, Marvel. I'm glad I have really slowed down on collecting Marvel. I think my next one will be Wolverine 4 just because I have 1 through 3. But selling my X-Men collection, because for some reason I got really into X-Men when Volume 1 got back into print, and I collected all of the Uncanny stuff and the non-Uncanny stuff, and then I realized I'm never going to read it and rather help pay for Hawaii.
See, I'm not a big X-Men guy, but like the stuff that I have, I feel like is the stuff I would like. Like I have Uncanny 1, I have Uncanny 3. I would eventually get Uncanny 2 because that's Dark Phoenix. Like at some point I'd like to do that. Then I have Fall of the Mutants, which is like the first event, and like that seems interesting. And like same thing with Age of Apocalypse. And I have the volume 2 of Claremont and Lee, which is like a lot of the stuff that the X-Men animated series was based on. So
Yeah.
like I think about it, I'm like, yeah, like those are interesting to me, but I've never read any of those. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I just feel like I fell into the trap of, I'll read it once I have all of them, but that's daunting. There's a lot to read. One of my whales is the Doom Omnibus. See, that would have been cool. Doctor Doom is one of those characters like the Phantom Stranger who I've never read before, but I love just the concept of them.
That one surprised me so much that it went out of print, because I was talking with someone else here, and do you remember the Loki Omnibus that came out right before that?
Yes.
The Loki Omnibus, I don't know what its status is now, but for a while, like, you couldn't pay people to take that omnibus. It sat, it went lower and lower, and the OPB whatnots, like, it was going for like in the 20s just because like nobody wanted it. And that was like when the Loki TV show was going on. And it was just because, again, it was like, it's a bunch of like random reprints over the years of a bunch of stories that like aren't continuous. And the Doom one was like that exact same way, but for whatever reason, it just boom, it went and it sold out. Spoo, I'm talking about the one that happened, not the new one, like the Lord of Stories or whatever that was called, but like the original one where it was like all of his stories throughout the years. I think there was like the DM was the Mark Brooks cover.
Bunk will dance for a super chat because my channel has only gotten one super chat, and it was from me when I was watching Jordan and Josh do art and have a great conversation. I gave myself a super chat.
I'm pretty sure that that super chat wouldn't go to me. So
I'd
Josh,
split it with you.
I mean, Jake, you're welcome to dance for a super chat. I won't stop you there.
My collection is very small of Omnis. Just got into them. So far, I've got the Kurt Busiek, George Perez Avengers, and Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon Omni, and Absolute Watchmen. Really wanted Thunderbolts, but couldn't find it. Okay, that's a book I need. I don't know why I bought them. I got Thunderbolts 2 and 3. I fell into that trap of like, it's so cheap on in-stock trades. And is that Thunderbolts Volume 1?
It is Thunderbolts Volume 1.
Well, my wedding is coming up. You could ship it with that Treasury edition that you have. That would be funky with the shipping. I have Thunderbolts 2 and 3. I'm probably never going to read them, but I wish I had Thunderbolts 1.
Is it out of print now?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
You're like, cha-ching!
No, I just I've read a little bit of Thunderbolts and I liked it, but I had no idea, because again, like, I think for a while you could get that for like $40 on IST.
I fell for the trap of like, it was like $40 for Thunderbolts Volume 2, so I bought it. I added it to my cart, and then I was like, well, it's going to be really lonely without Thunderbolts Volume 3. So I wound up not even getting a deal. But Absolute Watchmen is fantastic. If you Bunk is going to leave the stream when I say this, but I also really like Absolute Doomsday Clock if you like your Absolute Watchmen. I'm really big into absolutes, so if you want any advice on absolutes, my entire top row of my collection is absolutes.
I'm not here to leave this. Like, you can like what you like. It's, it's cool that you're ripping off a creator and like you're taking away like the rights that he worked so hard to do, and you're like perpetually keeping food out of his family's mouth. So I mean, if you want to steal from Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore, that's cool, man. Go for it.
Have you ever eaten In-N-Out before? Like, have you ever been to one?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hear how complex my In-N-Out order is?
Sure.
Mustard fried Flying Dutchman with whole grilled onions on top and bottom. Add pickles and chopped chilies.
I think when I went there, it was double animal style.
I love In-N-Out though, because it's like, for us to eat together, it's like $7, and you can count your calories really well, and it's just phenomenal. So that is a. Can you believe I've never read that book? I've never read Vision by Tom King.
Really?
Yeah, I've never read it.
Like, at all?
I don't know. The closest I've come to it is I know that there's a dog in it, and I know that they put that dog into the WandaVision show. but I have never read Vision by Tom King because I didn't collect Marvel.
I mean, if you're okay with trades, you can get it for like stupid cheap. Like Volume 2 shows up at Ollie's all the time.
I don't know. I don't really collect trades. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm cool with trades.
Yeah. I mean, it does have cool Gabriel Walta art, and I like him a lot. But yeah.
Oh my God. We got a super chat. Okay. Can we do your dance again? What was the Defiant Jazz dance? What was it? Are we going to get demonetized for our Defiant Jazz?
Only if it's too defiant.
I didn't even see that. Wow. Well, you're still going. Okay. Can we get the booty dance song again?
I mean,
no, David's not here. It's not the same without David.
You're also going to have to super chat a whole lot more than $2, of which I will see none dollars of.
Most of the content in the Book of Doom Omnibus has been printed in other omnis.
By the way, thank you, Josh. I'm not even seeing that money, but we love receiving super chats, seeing someone support a creator who's going out. We always want to thank you.
He almost gave me what I gave him in Patreon this month. I'm just kidding. No, honestly, this is our first super chat that we've ever gotten besides the one I gave to myself. Thank you. That means the world. And it's awesome, man. I got to it. You are so not even that far behind. There's like 5 chats ahead of you. Marvel might take you and Jim Shooter to court for anything you do that's defiant. The Vision was the first Tom King I've read. Highly recommend the series for the writing and the art.
I've heard a lot of people who say like they're not Tom King fans, that the Vision is like the exception to that. So I don't know. I like Tom King a lot. I liked Vision too, but there's something about Vision that like you can that's like a crossover that like people can do that. Valzad, I wasn't making you feel bad. You're
trying to make me feel bad.
Yeah.
Because see, the difference is you just are enjoying the stories that you want to enjoy. Me, I'm trying to profit off of, like, I keep bringing up comic tropes. He has an excellent video called Watchmen's Exquisite Corpse, and I think it is a glorious video on how they've milked the teat of Watchmen to oblivion. I've never seen a chat that gets me more. But I own a couple compendiums. Where we differ is Bunk would rather have a trade paperback. I'd rather have a standard size hardcover.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, standard size hardcovers can get right out of my collection.
What about Absolute V for Vendetta? Well, I just got Absolute V for Vendetta, and I'm reading it currently. I know it's sealed. I'm reading it digitally right now. But this came courtesy of my dear friends at Organic Price Books. Buying 1 or 2 books, save $2 on Organic Price Books with code BraveBoys. Buying 3 or more books, save 5%. So you can use that code when you buy Absolute Watchmen. Was that a good segue?
I loved it. You nailed it. You made it happen. I have been lacking. I'm sorry. I should have queued you up for more of those. The stream I didn't, so that's on me. So
if you cop it, I'll cop it. That's how I play. Like Chicano Heat. If you buy Monster Size Hellboy, I'll buy Monster Size Hellboy because I own none of it. Jordan lords the library editions over me. I was like, can I borrow it to read it? He's like, I'll give you the Seeds of Destruction trade paperback and we'll see if you're ready.
The only thing about that, because I have the softcover omnibus set somewhere here, and I just don't like Monster Size Hellboy. Sounds awesome until you think about the practicality of reading a book that's like that big and trying to like open it and get that all going. Like that doesn't sound fun to me.
Well, I would buy Monster Size Hellboy and then read it digitally.
I mean, that's realistically what's going to happen. I mean, I
got Absolute
omnibus, and that's still how I'm reading Hellboy.
Yeah, like I got Absolute V for Vendetta. I'm reading it digitally. Superman for All Seasons. I got 2 absolutes, and I read it digitally. Usagi. I'm reading it. Like, it's just like I don't know. It's because I've been doing more reading at work, and I can't bring an absolute to work.
Reading at work is like the best. Because like when you're doing it, you kind of think like, I'm getting paid for this. Like, am I a professional comic reader?
It's like, well, you know what? I could be a professional comic reader. I got a sponsor. I got a super chat on YouTube.
Well, no. You're a professional comics like content creator. You don't pay, It's not from the reading that you're getting paid, but when you're at work, you are actively getting paid while you are reading comics. So at that point,
it's that whole like boss makes a dollar, I make a dime, so you poop on company time. It makes it feel so good. But yeah, I've been reading at work a little bit more. Hey friend, I just woke up. It's 4 a.m. here. The Nightmare Sare pretty bad tonight. Nice to see a fellow Celtics fan, Bunk. I have only seen them live once during their incredible streak. Still have my Garnett top.
What's up, Elan? I did not realize that you were a Celtics fan. Also, I was going to say I'm not wearing my my Celtics jersey right now.
Because it's not a V-neck.
No, it's a crew neck. This was just like the first tank top I had like within arm's reach.
Her presence was missed. Her absence was missed. You know, it just wasn't the same stream without. Well, Welsh is a Celtic language.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I see what you did there.
You bit the bait.
I did.
Okay, Spooey, if I buy a copy of Trouble, can we do a live stream where we talk about Trouble together?
I would watch the hell out of that.
Spooey, let's do a live, and we'll call it Double Trouble. Let's do a Double Trouble live stream.
Now, how much do you know about Trouble, Jake?
I think that it's the story of Aunt May that like we've always wanted to tell, because like I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man not too long ago, and there's that issue where she's like crying to her therapist, and the whole time I was reading that, I was so transfixed on the beauty of her character, and I think that there's so many stories to be told, and I just want to, like, she wasn't always a great aunt, you know, who's parenting this teen alone as a widower. She was young, she had dreams, her world was ahead of her, and I think it's also like pulp romance comics, you know, romance comics were a big thing. Like, you know, they did, like, they were a huge thing. I love that it's honoring them. I love that they try to bring it back, and I think that we need more stories of a strong, powerful female woman taking charge of her sexuality and living her life with romance and love.
Well said. That tells me you haven't read it. Cool.
Okay. Was I on the cusp of anything or no?
It does feature Aunt May. That is true. You don't actually realize that until like way later in the book, and it like pulls this like bait and switch. But yeah, it's I mean, some of the words you said line up with what happens in there. I would not say a lot of them, but some of them.
Was that like, were you a teacher and you caught me that I didn't do my homework? Like, you caught me that I just did like the Spark Notes. Like, you were like, did you read this book for your book report? And I just BS for like 5 minutes.
No, I was your comment section accusing you of chat GPTing.
No!
Tell me about Trouble.
I write the scripts. Sometimes it just trims them down to a minute for me. Okay, that's it. Like, I think Bunk caught me on one where it was what was it? It was Something is Killing the Children, which I read, and I had to trim my script down, and for some reason it changed stuffed octopus to teddy bear, and Bunk just got me in the comments about that, you know? So yes, I used to use it to trim down scripts to a minute, but I haven't used it in a really long time.
I mostly just like doing that because nobody ever comments on shorts. Like, you know, they get like tons of those things, but like no one ever either like they do on food ones and goes looks yummy or something like that, or it's just people yelling at you in your shorts, and I like putting a little thing in there.
I should do a video
that I watched it.
We should do a video where I read through the mean comments I got on the short that I did. Like, I have hundreds, because that video got up to 500,000 views, and like usually negative comments don't bother me because I'm conceited and I love myself, you know. But when there's hundreds of negative comments, like that, like brought me down for a few days, because you get the dopamine rush of a notification and then you read it and it was just like tearing me a new one. But now I learned to laugh about it.
You know what would be more fun than that, actually? Is you do it game show style. So you do a live stream where someone has collected a whole bunch of them and you have to guess what video the mean comment came from.
Oof. Where is that 500,000 video, James Abel? For some reason, James isn't about YouTube Shorts, you know? But I just started seeing red and tearing my hair out when I heard someone praising Trouble. Same would go for Marville. That is true. James, you never answered what kind of milk you like.
He actually did. He said he just gets whatever's on sale.
Ew. I feel like everyone's like very intense about what kind of milk they drink. Like, I've never met anyone that just like rolls the dice.
2% dairy, whatever local farm I can get.
And here we beat James. Let's see. Some of them were, this is what happens when a teacher gives you a word requirement. Is this written by ChatGPT? This feels like it was written by AI. I'm so tired of this was actually kind of pleasant. I'm so tired of the Spider-Man 2099 theme being played. And I said, that's fair, dude. It's tough. YouTube's algorithm really does push out stuff using trending audio. And then he said, that's a good point. Not your fault, I guess. I did like so many Spider-Verse videos. Like, have you ever seen a wholesome YouTube conversation before?
Yeah, that was didn't you? Wasn't it on your Discord that it someone posted the thing from The Good Place? It's like, it's so rare to see, like when someone admits they were wrong on the internet. So
many words, yet nothing was said. Of course, I didn't steal your thesaurus. Bad writing. Hulk doesn't need to eat. His gamma radiation fuels him, like how plants get energy from the sun.
That's not on you though. They're saying like this story had bad writing. This
sounds like the time I forgot to finish my presentation, so I just reiterated each point 5 times in slightly different ways. This guy definitely used ChatGPT. This was a really fun over-the-top story that sets up some cool stuff like Silver Surfer Black. I feel like this is a great summary in less than a minute and makes me want to reread it.
Oh, whoever said that is a caring and discerning individual.
This one said, I've seen your other content and it's clearly human written, so I'm genuinely curious. Was this one written by AI? It's a good short and the phrasing seems like stuff I've seen from GPT before. Keep up the good work. Thanos is wide. Bro, Hulk busts planets, but turns out he's just some mutant broccoli looking ass. AI generated content. I have a friend who doesn't know Thanos is called Thanos. Thank you. He's called Purple Grape.
These are great. Keep going with these, man.
When the writers run out of ideas and start making shit up. Thanos disrespecting my man Hulk. No way World Breaker gonna be in chains. Bro is just saying words. Make sure you end the video the way you started, or you won't be socially acceptable on social media, because that's what we all just decided recently. In this stark reality, I see what you did here. Let's see. Thank you for telling the most vague story ever. Maybe using your script to record the video first and then put it in a blender.
All right, I think we got it. You don't need to do this to yourself anymore.
Okay. You could be like Brie Larson's video where you just ask a random pleasant question and she just assumes you're complaining to and about her. Is that Brie Larson slander? Costco lactase free, baby. What kind of milk do you drink, Bunk?
Wow, I literally said it like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay, that was the end of our stream, guys. Thank you for watching.
All right, cool. This has been Bunk. I'm never coming back. No, I'm dairy 2% and whatever local farm.
Okay, that's nice. Is local farm a brand, or do you mean like a local farm in the area?
No, local farm in the area.
YouTube shots is so hard to search. Did you see Spider-Man 29 themes used for horns from Careless Whispers? Chat GPT writes all the Brave and the Boys Discord comments. What are you reading currently? Are you still reading Usagi, or have you moved on to other things?
So I did what have I been reading through? So I'm still doing Usagi. Like I said, I finished up volume 1 of the Fantagraphic stuff.
How many issues are in that book?
This many?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good point.
It goes through the last story in here, I think is on Hoopla, volume 5, the Dragon Bellows conspiracy. So I did that. I just reread through some of the Magic the Gathering comic for a video that I'm doing talking about that. So that
I thought you were going to show off some Magic cards tonight.
I mean, I was waiting to be asked. This is not my channel, bro. I'm just here to.
This is our stream today. We can do whatever we want, man. I mean, I showed off Lorcana cards.
Yeah, I mean, I can show off the stuff that I got in my sealed pool.
Oh, and Run Me Through wants to know if your name is because BunkmastaA was taken by a dude with a face tat.
Like I think most people's names on the internet, it started as an inside joke, and then it just became my username when I just needed to make a username, and then it just became more and more. It was just like in college. I said it as referring to myself as a joke, and people laughed, and then I just started keep going. Son of a bitch! I forgot I had this. This would have been perfect in my sealed deck last night. Oh well. All right, so this was one of the guys that I drafted. Come on,
Tough Cookie.
Yeah, look at that. Look at how adorable he is.
That is so cute. What color were you? Were you all green?
I was green black. So
okay.
I was green black food. This was my girl right here. Come on now.
Is that Mulan, or who is that?
This is Greta. That thing that she's holding is a gummy worm. She has like sliced a gummy worm head off. She is covered in blood, except it's not blood, it's frosting of like menacing food. So she was
get to the top. Has this turned into the Omnidog stream? You get to the topic 3 hours in. Honestly, okay, so because I thought about a topic that'd be fun to do with you next time, but we would need more. I would need more prep. But I was thinking, I would tell you books that I like, and then your gatekeeping
and then I just shit all over.
Yes, you would gatekeep me and tell me the indie book I would like because I like that book.
Oh, I kind of love that. Like the idea
That's
is
a good idea,
like,
right?
Oh, I mean, like, sure, that's fine. But if you want a story of like X, you should just read this, which is a way better version of it. That's well, Spooey, if that did it for you, how about a big old horror donut devouring Sugar Ma? So it's a donut with a whole bunch of like teeth going there. Let's see. What other cuties did I have?
This is one of my rare pulls. I got a holographic Mickey Mouse Enchanted Sorcerer.
Nice.
He helps. His whole thing is like he swarms the deck with those walking brooms from Fantasia.
Mm-hmm. They're from the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, okay. So this is one of my favorite names from the set. So this is Candy Grapple, and it's a dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the comment out of the way so we can see it better.
Bitten by the apple, and the flavor text on this one is one of my favorite. Don't you mean poisonous? There's no such thing as a venomous. Ah! Like,
Why is that amazing?
there's a.
Hold on
I
one
mean,
second.
like-
I'm gonna grab my cat. It's doing something weird.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep showing off your cards.
All right. What else? Anything? Oh, so this is hello, Internet. Now we're turning into an ASMR stream where I'm going to slowly show you cards that are in sleeves. So there'll be a glare that are going on here. And it's Magic the Gathering content that you didn't come here for. So kick back. Don't enjoy, because this is not what you came here for at all. This is another one of my favorite arts that I picked up. This is a card called Vampiric Rites. It's a 1-mana enchantment, and it's pretty sweet looking. Let's see what else we have in here. I've got this shiny foil boy. That's I'm into that. Yeah, come on now. I mean,
I love
that's
it. Spectre of Mortality.
yeah. So that's the stuff that I got.
Next on NPR. Have a great night, man.
Later, Spooey. Catch you later, man.
Wait. Before you go, are you down for the Double Trouble stream? I'll ask him on Discord. That card is putting me into a diabetic shock.
Yeah, there's a.
Oh,
This set is all.
was that just to hurt you?
Why, Elan? Why do you do this to me?
Is that like real, or is she like just being triggering?
I don't know, but I don't. Well, while I deal with that hurt, Cycle just asked if I have any Zoe pages. I do have a Zoe page.
I like that he has everything he needs within reach. He prepped himself for this. He's been learning. This is like what? This is your 5th stream now, or 6th stream?
I don't know,
4th
man.
stream?
I don't keep track of things.
You're blowing
like
up the
this.
internet,
They just sorta
man.
happen. So, this one right here. So this is from. This is kind of a spoiler page. So I guess slight spoilers for the impending blindness of Billy Scott. So this is a super impactful page. Spoiler: she goes blind, and this is the first page we see her actually after her blindness. And so she's going out. She's got some cool glasses, and she's with the girl that she finally decided that she was gonna be with. So yeah, that's my Zoe page. It's interesting because she draws her stuff way smaller. So like right over here, this is a Danny page from Coffin Bound. This is like what they're usually drawn at, and Zoe draws on a way smaller scale.
That'd be cool if the book Zoe was from her POV.
So have you read any Zoe?
I
Also,
haven't.
Elan, you're back in my good graces. You hurt me, but I appreciate the hustle. Yeah, so Zoe. So her first book that she did, The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott, which I have from here, that is like a semi, like it's a fictional story, but she kind of bases the main character on herself. In her follow-up book, the next one that she did herself, because she did Rain, and she did a few books on Image that were on other people's projects, but It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth. That's actually a graphic memoir, and so it is all like her thing from her own point of view, and it is super impactful. I highly recommend that if you are in the right state of mind to read a very, very depressing story that includes a lot of stuff about self-harm, about feeling worthless, that you give that a read, because that story is amazing. And it just, not only like is it a great story and the art is great, but she does she plays with conventions and sort of like stylistically she changes a bunch of things, and like there's not a lot of other books that are like that, and I thought it was amazing. And it was also like such a personal story that I kind of felt like I didn't want to own any pages from that one. It just like that almost felt like it'd be owning a piece of her soul, which I didn't want to do. So that's why I went with impending blindness. So, but yeah. So that's my Zoe
Books
page.
sound heavy, man. Like,
oh yeah, it's heavy as hell.
I think what it is that like I love indie comics. I never had someone helping me like figure out which ones to read, you know? So like you'll recommend books and I'll buy them and I'll read them and I love them. But there's just so much out there, and it's like I think it's just like it's on my mind less because I'll do so much more reading now for the channel or like for a review or an overview that like I definitely like I found my niche in like DC, but like I'm trying to grow that niche, you know, because I don't want to be like typecasted as the recent DC guy, you know?
Yeah. And you know, the nice thing for me is nobody watches me, so I can just read what I want. But I also like feel like I need to put stuff out there, so I have to like push myself to like keep reading new things. But yeah, again, just like I couldn't be canceled from that last stream we did. You know, not having to like please an audience. It's pretty freeing and liberating.
I feel like you and Omnibuddy would do a good stream together. Like Mitch, if you ever watch Omnibuddy, I feel like you guys are both indie darling. Love the indie darlings. But we should do that for our next stream. Let's actually plan it out, and I'll pick like 4 or 5 books that I like, and then you'll find the indie alternatives.
Dude, I love the idea of Bunk spends a stream shitting all over Jake's comics.
Yeah. But that's cool. Guys, I think I'm going to call it because my food just arrived. Thank you read the last of the Independence, Jake. It's short and fast and great. I will write that on my list. Give me 1 second to write that down. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming out tonight. This was fun. I mean, I feel like we could have gone longer, but I'm starving. I went to the gym again. I'm going to say that a second time today.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
this was a lot of oh no. My cat's up on top of the bookshelf again. Oh, it's behind the light. You can't see it.
Oh, so is Parker and Life and Times.
Both books that I've read front and back.
Do you have First Parker or just Last Call?
First Parker is out of print since I've heard about Parker.
Yeah, but when does that stop you?
I think the only copy of it was like used on eBay and it looked like, or used on Amazon and it looked like bad condition or something. There we go. The Brave and the Boys Discord. Hold on, I gotta. Don't want a repeat of when it jumps down. See, what I wish someone would have told me is instead of buying the Absolute when one of them was out of print, I should have bought the deluxe editions that were all in print. But no one told me to buy the deluxe editions. No one said that you don't need the Absolute Parker. They don't fit in your bookshelf. You know, if only someone had told me just buy the deluxes, you'll get the whole story. Like that would have been good. But
yeah,
no one did.
Yeah, what a jerk. You know, if only there was anyone who told you that like the standard sized hardcovers were fine, because I sure as hell wasn't going to tell you that.
Good night, everybody. Guys, keep watching and stay brave.